Yes! Here we go. Welcome back. We got another one here. Okay, today's guest, old timer, first timer, third timer, if you know what I mean. First episode's up, Pink Eye of the Throat. Came out a few years ago. It's a good one. Go back, listen to it. We'll cover his dirty sheets. But this guy in particular is a logistics officer for NASA. Okay? He's been entwined with NASA for the last 3 or 4 years. He's had his hands in multiple trips to outer space. It is crazy. Like, wait till this episode comes out. You're going to hear all the stuff that the astronauts did, how he got out of the different layers of the atmosphere to space, what's going on with the space shuttle. Elon and him had a couple beers. Stay tuned. He'll get into that story. So, 3 Shots Podcast, you know where to find us. Hit the thumb, hit the likes, subscribe, leave a comment for this guy. He'll break down as much science as he can. Hashtag science. Here we go.
What? Say what? Go.
Yes. Woo.
Hello
Again.
Hi, guys. Another good show. Well, welcome back.
Well, thanks.
Long time no see.
Back in the saddle.
What'd you bring here? What is this?
This is some
apple
Lobos
juice?
Extra Anejo Tequila.
Lobos. What does that mean?
Well, it's the Latin word for wolf.
It's Latin?
It is.
I thought it was Latin for homeless. That damn Lobo over there.
The Latins are
hobo.
making tequila?
Well, it depends on where you're at, right? The H is silent.
That's the Greek word.
Right.
Lobos. What'd you say it was Latin for?
Wolves.
Wolves.
Yeah.
So it's just called wolves?
I mean, yeah, basically.
Think it's made out of wolf piss?
I sure hope so.
Look at the color of
I
this.
need to get a little bit
It's
wilder.
been a minute.
You know?
Well, we are 3 shots, but salute. Like, what do we do? Cheers?
Yeah. There it is.
There you go. Tap the table, I guess.
I'm not going to do this as a shot because it's really good
No,
tequila. So.
no, you're fine.
It also doubles as a cleaning agent, we can tell from the table.
Yep, my funky, clumsy fingers spilled a healthy 3 fingers on that table. So
That's what she said.
Oh, man. It's not bad.
You okay over there? He's about ready to fucking cry.
What am I doing? Why do I have my, like, a
Like a
wolf?
retarded fucking wolf over there.
I turn it into the flies? Or like a fucking dead wolf?
see, now we know that the Velociraptor is a old family member of the wolf.
There you go. It's science.
Yeah. How do they make that noise?
I don't know. Keep trying.
That's also the same look he gives his wife when it's time to get busy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Bring out the small arm.
we tried last night, but she forgot to wash her mouth. And, I don't know if I should say it or not, but let's just say...
Get the Listerine!
Let's just say hot sauce and tip of your head do not work out very well. You know what I'm saying?
If you're Hispanic, though, it might be a party.
You never know. You do it enough times, you might learn to like it.
Yeah. It was, I had to go take a shower. I had to dip it in milk. It's like milk and cookies.
Santa? What? It's not December.
And
It's a weird way to get her to drink milk.
And
I'm lactose intolerant, God damn it.
the problem was I didn't have like a glass big enough to get it in, you know? So
Wait. Get what in?
the tip in.
Oh, there you go.
But they say milk helps. I don't know. It didn't help. So I went in the shower and I just poured milk all over my body.
Looking like a fucking Doritos commercial out here with
Dude,
Allie, whatever her
it
name
felt-
was, Baker or
It felt
something.
like just like what you talked about getting soap in the urethra.
Yeah, but that's a real thing.
Yeah. So it's hot sauce.
See,
on
he
the-
decided to combine it with his OnlyFans videos.
Yeah. Imagine if it would have went.
It's great for bunions,
If it
too.
would have went in my urethra, I had to like Q-tip it out. Pour the milk in like a
Speaking
funnel.
of that, have you guys ever had a STD check?
I have.
I have. One of my ex made me do one once, just to make sure.
They didn't make me swab anything, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's today's episode, and
I got a cheek swab.
the booty cheek swab? That's the wrong STD. Where are you at in this, buddy? We know who the power bottom is.
Yeah. Chlamydia is real.
Yeah.
Just such a nice name too. And they took it like,
Chlamydia?
yeah, it would be a nice name for a girl. You know,
Oh, look at old clam over there.
come here, chlamydia.
Here we have Aphrodite, and then now here we have chlamydia.
Yeah,
That's probably where it came from. It's Greek for something.
yeah.
It's Greek for a dirty clam.
Oh, maybe that makes sense that because you guys all heard about the dire wolf being supposedly it's a dire wolf being cloned, right? Or not cloned, but created. By that
I
colossal
saw
web.
some article headline saying they were back. I didn't read it.
Yeah, so they were able to take its DNA and make an embryo and put it into a wolf, and the wolf had a baby, like a surrogate wolf, basically.
Fuck yeah, I want a dire wolf.
Dude, they're sick looking.
Yeah, so they made a dire wolf. Pull that up right now. And,
Got it.
No, I'm just kidding. But they named them Romulus and something else, but they were the founders of Rome. But their story was that they were abandoned by their parents, and a wolf. They suckled from the teat of a wolf until
It's my origin story.
yeah, until this she wolf was what they called it. So I was thinking it was like a ladyboy wolf. You know what I'm saying? Or you sucking the dick, or you sucking the tit? I don't know. I can't remember the other brother's name, but anyway, they were eventually found by humans, but they were the founders of Rome. So maybe with Latin, maybe that's why it's the wolf's symbolism with that, and then Romulus ended up.
What's the tie to tequila though? That's the whole. I don't know what I mean.
I don't know, but
Fucking bringing out wolves.
apparently Romulus ended up killing his brother because they couldn't decide on what hill to put Rome on. He's like, "You stupid fuck! I said that hill." Over there, brutal times back then. But
Did you see the woolly mice?
yeah, they're stupid.
Dude, they're badass. They're fucking cool as shit.
still
in the
carry-
fucking Arctic.
Now they're gonna
gonna
carry-
die in this kind of heat.
Yeah.
Well, they genetically engineered them, kind of like they did with the fucking the dire wolves, and then they're just cute little mice, and they're all like fluffy like woolly mammoths.
You know what
Dude,
they're gonna
pretty
do?
cool looking.
They're gonna clone these prehistorical things like these woolly mice and shit, and they're gonna like these endospores of forgotten bacteria and viruses are gonna like break out of their shell and be like, "Oh, you guys are back. Let's start fucking contaminating you guys again."
Right.
It's only been
I just want
10,000
Jurassic
years.
Park for real. Like,
Yeah.
let the dinosaurs take over again. We've had our time.
Well, Jurassic Park. They did
Q
different-
comment.
They did different, right? They took like a chicken egg and tied it in with. Oh no,
They did it with a.
They had a DNA.
I thought they did it with.
They had the DNA from the mosquito.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It was all
And then
you know,
and then
preserved
they
in a cum
spliced
ball.
They
Yeah.
spliced it with the frog DNA.
And then they were able to have sex themselves, be asexual, and that's
It's just a matter of time before the mouth breathers are like, hey, let's clone what's her face, like we need her back too, Then there's all these Cleopatras running around getting stoned, if you will, by all the fucking scientists.
Yeah,
dick.
I mean, they have like King Tut's DNA. I think it's just like an ethical thing. Maybe they don't. Like some old Egyptian, like that shroud that Jesus supposedly died on or had covered. Like his DNA's got to be on there, right? Maybe it dies in the air.
What's that white stain? No, that's not the DNA we needed.
Yeah,
It's ranch dressing.
yeah.
You didn't know that came from fucking Middle East?
I think that's the problem. If semen's out in the air, it dies. But if it's in a woman's vagina, you got 10 years to get it out of there. True facts.
Hashtag science.
Exactly. Be the scientist in there splunking and scraping it out. Just sit there for a little
It's
bit.
almost out. It's almost out. What was that? Nothing.
Yeah. I think you got it. I think you got it. Fair point.
You know that somebody will grab the DNA from Charles Manson and, Ted Bundy and shit too, though.
It would probably be one of those like scientific. I guess that would be nature versus nurture, right? Like, is it really in the DNA that he's a killer? Or if we raise him right, does he come out and be an actual scientist?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could stretch it and see what Hitler would do, but who knows?
They bring back Sigmund Freud and he turns into a psychopath.
No more tigers for you, buddy. Not those ones.
Bring back the tiger. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Forgot about them. Sigmund Freud.
He's talking about the author.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Not the tiger people.
No, not the gay ones. I knew I would get somebody with it, but come on.
Got me.
Me.
But enough about the past. So, anyway, what's been new? What's happening?
Oh,
What's going on in the world?
Just exploring, job hunting in 2025, which is super great.
How's that? What's that like?
It's less than awesome. There are, between the economy and AI eliminating jobs, really, which is good and bad, I suppose, in some ways. But yeah, I'm not a fan of job hunting in our current
Not much out there.
macro.
Or if it is out there, just the pay is not there because.
Well, there's a lot of things that are containing it. I mean, you have a lot of companies who are either looking for the unicorn candidate, the one who fits every single job requirement they have, or B, they're posting a job that they have no intention of hiring for because it looks like they're growing without having to actually grow.
Right.
And
That COVID money.
It's crazy.
You need 20 years of fucking experience too, and don't even apply. That was the problem back
for
then.
entry level pay.
Yeah.
That's always the best one. Like, well, how the fuck do you get 20 years if you're not going to hire me? Should have figured that out after you got your degree, idiot. Ha!
Right.
Come on.
It's crazy. It's a weird world we live in right now. The stockholders want to see double-digit profit growth, and anything less than that is considered stagnating, which is absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
If your company is growing in any way, shape, or form in the green, like that's growth, that's profit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to show like sometimes you have to like spend money,
Sure,
turn red a little bit,
capital expenditure
to keep growing. Like there's like you got to pay for overhead, or sometimes you don't even expect like how well like even the other side of the coin. Like if your business does so well, you're not prepared for it, and then that could fuck you up too. Now you got to expand and meet all these demands because. Then people start writing bad reviews or whatever.
Well, and you can't go to China anymore for it, so we got to do it right here in America. Homegrown, baby.
Yeah, and like with medical facilities, like with the new like hospital or ER that's up, with insurance, like it takes like a year to get like Medicaid and whatnot. And like most people don't know that. So it's like, if you have like a new pharmacy come out or if a new hospital, like they have to, I don't know what ropes or hoops they have to jump through, ropes they have to jump over, ropes they have to make. Knots they have to tie. I don't fucking know the phrase.
Just roping.
The saying.
tying knots around his dick.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
hang it.
If like 90% of the population is on the welfare insurance and you don't have that, you don't provide that, like you're fucked.
Well, and there's a lot of providers that are resisting even providing for Medicaid, subscriptions.
Oh, because they're not getting.
Because
like,
it's
there
more,
used to be
it's
like
more
a flat
complicated
rate or something, right?
Well, it is, and
You
it still
pay
is,
back?
but it's more complicated, and it's not worth the effort that they have to go through and all the red tape and shit. So they would rather just be like, you know what, we're just only going to do private or cash.
I never understood. Like, I figured like,
You're good.
I figured like insurance should just be handled by the patient on their own. Like say you go in for a prescription of antibiotics and it costs you $200, and then you take that and then you file that. You take you pay the $200 or whatever, right? Or maybe it's held in pending with the pharmacy, but at least the medical part's getting paid for and you're getting your shit and you're getting it out of the way. And then you deal with your insurance. It's your insurance. You file in the receipt and be like, I need my money back for this.
But wouldn't the problem be if,
Why does the hospital and the pharmacy have to do it? It's not my insurance.
Because they're driven by profits. That's why I think the entire insurance industry and the medical industry should all be designated as not for profit. They should not be.
Oh,
able
100.
to,
It's a
they should be
it's
an
a
NPO
Q or a
because
Q,
then-
dude.
Well, that's a weird word, non-profit, right?
Well, it's all it
Or
means.
not for profit? Or
Not for
non-profit?
profit. It's the same thing.
Okay,
but
I was
it's
making sure because there's so many different things you can be
Yeah.
labeled as. For profit, non-profit.
no, but
donation.
it's
NPOs,
not
baby.
It's not saying that they can't make money. It limits the amount of money they can make.
Yeah.
They can only make so much percent. I think it's 2%. Is the
It's a vague term for what they can't. You would think like, hey,
they just
you're a
can't chase
non-profit. It means
profit.
like, wait a minute, so how do you make money? Donations only? It's like, no, it's just you can still like sell stuff and make money that way. It's just like,
Yeah, you gotta cover
you're
your
limited
expenses.
and I forget what it was. I just learned it and then it just went out my head. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm
Well, that's why you got to roll back the CEO books and actually see how much money they're making in general. Like, what's his face? The guy that owned the Mavs,
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban. His thing he's doing with medicine and whatnot. Like, he's taking all those prescription, over-the-counter things that are $1,000 to get. Your insurance won't cover it, and it's just a headache. And he's making them dirt cheap online. It's the perfect thing. Like, everybody wins. But going back to what you were saying, I think the problem comes with the reason why they use the insurance in the first place to go forward is because they probably don't have that $200 to go through. It's like, no, I just paid
that's
my.
why I thought,
you know what I mean?
Put
Like,
it in limbo. Like it's in holding, but like just get people out of the line, like medicine wise. It's all like when you use your debit card, it says pending, or your credit card, the transaction went through, but did it go through? Technically, it still says pending.
Now until it's my bank account because there's no money in there.
Like my credit card company's closed on the weekends, but it doesn't mean my credit card is. It's just going to come through later, and then you have 24, 48 hours to dispute that pending. Like, here's the insurance that goes with it. You file it like you're just saying.
I can only imagine how much shit gets lost in that process, though. You know what I mean?
Technology's so easy, but unfortunately, like most old people and boomers who don't care to learn technology, will suffer with it. I get that, but get with the times. I don't know if I can tell you.
You heard it here first.
It'd just be so nice to just go in and just be treated and just worry about the medical expense. Like, I remember when we were having our kid, like, my wife got called by the fucking register people, like, how do you want to get paid while she's in labor? Or, like, how do you want to pay us while she's in labor? And shit's like, what are we talking about? Like, let's make sure you guys can deliver it first. I pay on delivery.
I was going to pay you with the baby.
If it falls out of there and it's not alive, I'm not paying you for shit, I guess.
Well, and I don't think they can't charge you until you're discharged anyway from
which part, the baby or us? Discharge it out of there. But yeah,
you bring in a fucking fake doll. You're like, I don't know, man. It came out plastic. It's here you go. You do no.
It's like no wonder, like, birth's hard to do because you got to deal with that shit too. Like, ring. Yeah, how do you want to pay? Credit card? What do we swipe here?
You guys take checks?
Oops. So, kid comes out a different color. Can I get a discount?
That ain't mine.
And I'm out.
That's not mine.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate, like, not to go down like socialism, God forbid, or whatever. But
oh dear,
I think preventative shit should be free for people. Like going to the gym. Healthier foods, like you should be given like money per healthy foods, or healthy foods should cost less or something. Work with the farms to get more healthy.
I think anything not elective should be free.
And dental shit, like anything like to go in and get your teeth clean.
Yeah.
That should all be like covered, like Social Security stuff. Like
shit, most of that stuff isn't even covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and all that shit.
Dental insurance is garbage.
Yeah.
Like all your pre-screening stuff should be free because that's what like if you take care of your teeth and you're eating right.
Yeah, but Big Pharma doesn't give a fuck about if you're healthy.
I understand.
It's all about how bad you can get. Now let's fix the problem.
Yeah, and they're just trying to make you worse and worse.
Exactly.
Well, supposedly, I just read this a couple weeks ago. They have finally gotten a tooth to grow from an implanted seed, effectively, in the gums. So they're
watch out, ladies.
Starting to get to the point where they can grow teeth.
Huh.
That's crazy.
They've been talking about it for 20 years.
Ain't no more gummers going on now.
Yeah, they do something else with teeth. I forgot. They use it to like grow or repair something else. I can't remember what it was. But I thought it was kind of interesting. Teeth are kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like they must have some organelle in their little cells that tell them to grow randomly or whatever. But
well, even just the science behind it where you only get 2 sets, like why isn't it not like 3 or 4 or like, just when one goes away another one grows in its place?
Like fucking shark teeth.
Exactly.
Supposedly, depending on how deep you want to get down the religion road.
Got a tooth coming in?
Supposedly, if you live long enough, they have demonstrated that you can have a 3rd set.
Oh, bullshit.
Supposedly.
Who's over here 160 years old? Like, where's that fucking voting register of all those old timers?
Adam and Eve probably had, 6 sets of teeth because they lived to 900 allegedly.
But here's the math. Well, no, because here's the math. If you're a baby, you lose your baby teeth, in the first 7 years, give or take?
Yeah.
Okay? And then you just have another set for 100?
They're stronger. I mean,
about 65.
That's 101. If you make it 101, they just all drop out and come in.
That's that prime enamel.
Yeah.
Coffee teeth, yellow as shit, smoker's teeth.
There's nothing more like dangerous to get you sick than your mouth. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
keep the dicks out, boys.
The more you ejaculate, the stronger your enamel comes in the next time.
Anytime you see someone with pearly whites, you're like, fucking gay. You just know. I had to catch myself on a word I was going to use.
What do they call them? Veneers? Where'd you get those semen ears at or whatever? Just fucking.
You longshoreman? Why? Just wondering.
Those are nice. Where'd you get them teeth?
Let me show you.
Yeah. Like you're.
Well, bust yours out. Let's see. Is that one growing in? We can take a look at it.
Too? No, it's. I don't know what they make it out of. It's probably some other person's tooth. I got a donor tooth.
Fucking George Washington out here. They're made out of wood.
Yeah, cadaver. Like they do cadaver ligaments.
Right.
Cadaver teeth now.
Wood and lead. Yeah, it's just and straw. Gross. No wonder people died early.
Yeah,
all this nasty shit in their mouth. It's like your gums have like your bloodstream's right there. So it's like, you know, if you don't brush your teeth, you're just
That was
letting
from the unwashed
bacteria.
genitalia.
Yeah, there was probably 2 parts going on with this one.
Oh, your balls smell like
From Munda mouth.
exactly.
Or didn't they say like
Don't cut
like
your
in the
don't
12th
cut the colon on your mouth.
in the 12th century and stuff, like kings and queens era, when they would get in fights, like most people would die because
Hold my teeth?
No, because they would bite them. Like, you know, they
yeah.
dropped their fucking sword. Oops, and they shark attack them, and like, oh, they died because of the infection from his gross ass fucking mouth. Hence why Britain people have disgusting fucking teeth. Think about it. That's why they're fixing it now. Shit wasn't happening over here.
They have disgusting teeth because of their food they grew up on. It's this mush. So
And
they
their
don't-
shitty
Porridge?
genetics.
Yeah,
Their
they
shitty
don't-
genetics. You know,
Yeah, if you don't eat-
incest is a crazy thing.
Yeah, no shit.
if you don't,
I've
like,
seen the people or the whites of West Virginia. I know what's going on.
if you just eat porridge your whole generations, you'll eventually your jawline just so slowly goes away and your teeth don't become important anymore. Hence the British. That's why they're all fucked up.
Let me tell you, those British hills do have eyes.
Once they got rid of Merlin's dick to gnaw on, they were just fucking like and just chewing on porridge. There's no food there to eat. The fucking sheriff from Robin Hood took all the deer.
Well, they're probably so jagged because they had to, chew through those ropes
Right.
when they're getting up the gales, trying to get out of that
They
thing.
technically didn't leave. They left Britain to go get food, not fight the Crusades. They're like, fuck.
Why do you think they can't make scotch anymore? They fucking ate all the peat moss when they were.
You live on an island. You have to be able to trade for cows and shit and meat. But that's why, they ate fucking porridge and they didn't turn into Goldilocks. They fucking just, they just have gummy teeth.
Gummy teeth.
They couldn't find the right bed, huh?
That's why they can't.
They should have came to you. You would have showed them what's up with the mattresses.
That's right.
Give them some leather
my
to chew on.
specialty.
Yeah, you can change your jaw, your jawline pretty significantly with that, doing that shit for like a couple months or whatever. I
What,
had one.
infection?
No, that too. That'll do it. Get an abscess.
Gonorrhea of the
This
tooth.
is another good word that was taken. Chlamydia and abscess. Come here. Chlamydia and abscess.
Imagine you name your kids that.
What are you guys doing? It's just a horrible word. What do you want to call this?
You're just trying to take the power of the word back.
Yeah.
Yeah, DEI over here.
There's a bunch of smelly, gooey shit in his mouth. What do we want to call it? Abscess.
It's probably why he had
Afterbirth.
like Jack the Ripper and stuff over there. He was just so upset with his mouth. He was out there slaying people. He had a toothache the whole
Because
time.
the hookers, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told you, dirty genitalia.
Lavender. Now you know where that smell came from.
I know these gum marks from someone. Whose are they?
Well, didn't they say like they'd only shower once a year too because they thought the natural body odor and stuff would actually help you and keep you clean? I
What do
think
they
that
call
was like happening.
Natural flora.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Normal-
shit.
That's probably true.
Probably. It's
everything-
disgusting.
Yeah, everything's made to make you like sick right now, currently, like shampoo, the 10 and body wash stuff. Now it's up to like 20 different things. 20 in one. I buy that shit. We've talked about this before. Like
I can wash my balls, my face, and my feet at the same time. Perfect.
Like they went from the 2-in-1 where it's conditioner and shampoo, just
5-in-1.
Now it's up to like, it's all the way up to like 10-in-1 or some shit. Like what else are we doing?
Yeah, it's always sad when I go to the fucking store and it's like, oh, body wash and shampoo. I'm like, well, I ain't wasting my money on that bitch. I just need the body wash,
I need to like exfoliate stuff, right? Like with the bald head. Is that what we're doing out here?
I don't know. You're still holding on, son.
That's a good word too.
Yeah. Now
I'm trying to get that Jason Statham look. What do you guys think? I don't have the mush mouth, but do I look like Jason Statham?
I mean,
I don't know. Can you do a roundhouse kick?
Not really. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Round. Ooh.
ooh.
Say,
I don't think he's transporting his fucking cum, son.
Ooh, wake up, shot tears. No, yeah. I can't
I
do
stick
it.
to the shampoo conditioner. I won't do the.
Do you have a
the
beard
5-in-1.
thing too?
Well, so I have separate ones for beard, but I don't generally use them because the shampoo and conditioner I buy
Homo.
works for both.
We went half screen on Spencer's
Spencer again?
camera.
God damn it.
I don't know
why
what's going on with
it
that.
does that. One sec, shot tears.
We need to break that open and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's weird. It's doing that.
Yeah, it's
Some tequila while he's doing that.
it's probably the that tequila that's on the floor soaked into the wires right now.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I only know that you're just trying to help.
I'm just trying to do my part to contribute. You know?
Well, surprisingly, the only person that hasn't really been spilling is Mr. Joe.
I have not been.
So disappointed in you,
Nothing to
Joe.
spill.
Well, I know he's been doing his due diligence, keeping. Why are you pulling the battery out?
Because it's all like frozen.
Oh, speaking of movies, have you?
He's been recording his masturbatory sessions.
I'm an audio guy only. Watched Havoc last night.
Havoc.
Yeah, it's Tom Hardy's new movie on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Stellar.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I was telling Joe they went over the top on the brutality. So instead of someone getting like pieced up with a couple bolts to the chest, it's a whole fucking mag. Dude, just blah, 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 and blood everywhere. It's good.
I need to watch the I don't know if it's a show or a movie that he did where he's playing two twin brothers in London. I think it's called Legend or Legendary or something.
Yeah, that came out like 2006.
It's
right?
been a minute. I've seen clips from it several times, but I've just
I don't
never
know, it's
actually
loading.
watched it. But it looks so good. He's a very talented
Go over.
motherfucker.
Over, other way. Other way. There you go. Good. Yeah, no, his new show, Mobland 2 is pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
But him
With Pierce
and,
Brosnan.
him and James McAvoy are my two like current generation just talented sons of bitches.
The only thing that gets me with Tom Hardy is like when he starts talking and when he's like, his voice is so high, kind of like mine, but it just almost doesn't fit in a sense. I don't know why I think that, but I think it's because he's British, but same difference. He's a good fucking actor though.
Probably because you're just racist.
Yeah.
Fair point.
The voices. You fucking
You're
voices.
voicist. You voices some bitch.
How dare you?
Real question
He's
is,
a good actor.
we are upon the
Or he's
NFL
just a
draft.
good movie. Dun 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 dun.
I can't even tell you how happy I am that Shador waited until the 5th round to get selected.
Uh-oh. Shadora Hater. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Shador.
I gave up.
Shut the door. No, Shador. Ah, shit.
No, you know the thing is that I wouldn't have been rooting against him if he weren't trying to pull the Eli Manning shit. We're going to dictate, which team selects us, and we're only going to play for certain teams. And fuck off.
I didn't think he said that. I thought he said he was open to anybody.
They said that later. Dion and him came out saying that they were gonna only accept certain teams drafting. If you're not one of these certain teams, don't draft us because he ain't gonna play for them. And I still hate Eli Manning for doing that shit.
Yeah.
Eli Manning's a piece of shit. Not only should
Well,
he
he's not the
be,
only quarterback to do that, though.
Well, no, Elway did it too, and fuck Elway. Like Eli
And
Manning,
Marino.
Eli Manning not
Marino
only
did
is
it.
not a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Don't you
he's
dare.
not a Hall of Famer at all.
Take-
Eli?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck
Ooh,
you.
I don't know about that. You're
Fuck
talking
it.
about Joe's
He had
goat.
that guy barely had a 50% completion rate for his career. Fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Got 2 soups.
I don't care.
that.
He got lucky by 2 catches.
And he beat the Pats.
Yeah, fuck him.
I know why you're so sour. I forgot you're a Pats fan. Here we go. I understand what's going on.
right.
Yeah, no wonder why. Shut up over there.
I am a Pats fan, but I hated Eli Manning long before
Sure
he
you
beat the
did.
Patriots.
To be fair,
That's fair.
I will say that if Shador just doesn't say a fucking word for the next 6 to 8 months, year, whatever, and just competes and goes forward and does well, kudos to
I will
him.
absolutely root for him if that's the case. I know it won't be because that's not his character. That's not the brand they're building. It's a whole.
See, I was reading that the reason why they weren't drafting him was because of the fact that they didn't want to bring in the
The circus,
ambiance of stuff
circus
of what
that
the
invariably
Sanders are.
follows,
That's
yeah.
Dion and Shador.
It's the
and all
LeVar
that.
Ball.
Yeah.
Et cetera
Carmelo, or
situation
not Carmelo,
again.
whatever his name
He's
is.
been drafted already.
Who?
Fifth round.
No, I know.
Shedor Sanders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got drafted this morning. It's
To the fucking Browns.
ew second quarterback.
Exactly.
Which I thought was hilarious.
Now, to be fair, I don't think I almost called him Gabe Lopez.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel is a better quarterback than Shador. I don't think so. He should have not be higher.
I think he. Well, okay, look at it this way. Dylan Gabriel beat Ohio State.
Dylan Gabriel is a baller.
He beat Ohio State.
But if you're going,
Who did Shador beat?
but if you're going,
Nobody.
agreed. But if you're going off the metrics of everything, how they rank all these quarterbacks in the
So
place.
because he had garbage time stats, that counts.
Well, of course. Look at Eli. Boom. But I think Shador should have been like at least around the 3rd or 4th quarterback gone.
I don't have a problem.
But look at the two quarterbacks that are still on the docket. You got Ohio's.
Wasn't he the third or fourth gone?
Pittsburgh took Howard, and the Eagles took the Syracuse guy, Kyle, whatever his name. I forget his last name.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I can't think of it.
So they were the last two holdout, like, decent quarterback. I think Quinn Ewers maybe is the
Quinn Ewers. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
So that's the thing is, you take Gabriel over those two when they're almost in a better system. I don't know. I'm not a fucking scout.
Look at Ewers. Ewers got benched.
I put that in my
for
barbecue.
Ewers got benched for Arch Manning several times through the season.
Injury.
No, mid game.
It happened.
And then he came back in later in the game. So you're telling me this guy is so good that their backup is coming in for series?
But wouldn't that be the same clout of you're having a Manning behind you, and when he showed up when Ewers was injured, and now it's like, how do you go backwards? It's the Tom Brady Bledsoe effect, right? Like, how do you go backwards?
What happened? They committed to him, and that was it.
And they almost won. No, they did win.
They did win.
Yeah. So I mean,
who won?
But even the next year, the Pates, the Pats.
Oh,
Ohio.
When Bledsoe got injured.
Well, and Ohio.
I thought you were talking about Ewers.
Well, no, you mean Texas.
Texas. Ewers plays for Texas.
I know. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
The only reason I know that is he's on the cover of CFB. But this is all.
Arch Manning is
Canada Football League.
Or Quinn Ewers.
Ewers.
Oh, okay.
College football league. But I this is all over my head. I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to it.
Normally I don't either, but there's just been so much.
I think
back and forth about it. I was like, okay.
NFL and college football are just two different things, and they're not even close to being comparable.
No, I agree. And for the most part, I don't care about college football. I'll watch the CFB and all that. Like, it's fun to see the playoffs. I love that they finally adopted a playoff system for it.
The fans want to see. I don't know why everyone gets so hyped for the first round. It's just a bunch of fatties getting drafted on the line. Who gives a fuck? The good players don't get drafted until the second round when you need them. You need your fucking line first.
No, the good position players go first round.
Some
sort of okay.
Only Ward and Genty went. And then when did the first wide receiver go? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to watch him. He probably went like 7th or some shit.
He did.
But it was all like, it's all defense. It's all defense and fucking linemen.
Well, you need your big boys, dude.
What you need.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who get hurt. And
well, every NFL coach will tell you win in the trenches.
So I was like, why are we
Well, that's what's funny about the Browns taking two quarterbacks. Like, you should have got a fucking lineman, boys.
The draft should be different in a sense where
that was
like
their first pick was a lineman.
It should be like
Probably. They'll suck anyways.
What's a fuck?
Good.
What's it called where it's your position a positional player that makes plays, like a
position player?
Well, like they're all position players, but like you have your playmakers. Okay, playmaker positions, we'll call them that, and then you have your position players.
You're talking about wide receiver, running back, tight end, quarterback, basically.
So like just have like
situational players.
Yeah, have 2 drafts, one for the line and defense, and then one for the power players.
You should want the decision between taking a lineman or taking a cornerback or whatever that looks like to weigh against taking a playmaker.
It's a big decision.
For sure. I having a separate draft for that I think would be a bad idea.
Dude, it's already 7 rounds as it is. Like, fuck that.
I want to watch it and make more money, I guess. I'm trying to give the NFL ideas.
I watched the first 2 days, so like the whole thing.
I don't. Yeah.
Normally I don't, but I was curious to see how it was going to play out with the Shedeur situation and all the other quarterbacks for that matter. Like, it was just a much more interesting draft from an emotional investment perspective than normal, I think.
I just kind of like look at a team and hope they, like, most of them I think draft what they need. Like,
for the most part,
most teams don't need a quarterback this year. Those that did drafted Cam Ward, like the Titans and maybe New Orleans are the only 2 teams, and the Giants, 3 teams I can think of. But like, there's
but New Orleans, the fucking saw her dude that they took. Who the fuck is that?
Schaff is.
Who is that?
He played for Kentucky.
That's where I thought Sanders was going to
go.
Louisville. I think you're right.
Louisville, I think. I'd never even heard the guy's name.
That's why I was laughing when he came over Sanders. I was like, who is this? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But
you're good.
I don't know. I think there's a lot more done behind the scenes, and we all probably know that, than what's shown in the tabloids to sell money and shit.
Sure.
It's like, these are players that are picked because, one, they're probably routed from schools to, to see they're scouted from these schools, and then the scouts are going out looking for what fits our program, what fits our design plays.
Well, and with
we don't need a running quarterback. We don't run the ball.
Yeah.
We actually need a quarterback who can throw the ball accurately because that's how
From
our
the
scheme is.
pocket.
Or we need a running back because we're like, I don't even know what the fuck Dallas took. Like, I didn't even take a running back to my knowledge. But that's
They
a big
took
hole they need to
lineman
fill.
and edge, I believe, in the first.
Yeah,
and
and
second.
Dallas is always good at that. They always have a good line, but nothing behind it except
Well, they
for
haven't for
Ezekiel
the last few
Elliott.
years, but that, which I think is why they took Booker in the first. I mean, and he's a good pick, but I don't.
He's opposite of Parsons, right?
No, well, no, he's an offensive lineman.
Okay, so they took that edge in the second round.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Dallas is known for that. They're known for
But
making
the
weird
hard part
fucking
is the
picks.
NIL, the whole college pay situation, which I support to an extent, like has destroyed.
Oh, I have a theory that
growth
I
of
have
that.
a theory that
Yeah, we've covered that
if
so
you,
many times.
If you could make a metric on like skill of players and somehow measure that from like the past players that came out, I feel like NFL skill level is going to drop because of that NIL. Like, there's no incentive to try anymore.
Well, it's what's funny.
I think
you
that's
just
that's,
transfer
that's
out
to a
and
point,
there's
though.
no like.
What's
there's no-
interesting about that though is that it is actually encouraging players to stay in school because they can make
Yeah, you're
more
making your
from the
nut.
NIL than they will on a rookie
Yeah.
contract with the NFL.
And college
Which,
campuses,
in
college
theory,
campuses are,
betters their roster.
experience.
Yeah, and for the next following year.
sure.
So,
college
yeah.
campuses are fun. Why wouldn't you stay there? You're in a free house.
Well,
There's
you gotta
plenty-
you gotta
there's
put it on the
plenty of-
metric to measuring tits and ass.
Plenty of tits and
College
ass
and tits and
around,
ass,
Plenty of
which is
bars
great.
around.
That's right.
Or do you want
Plenty of
them
grape
stripper cheerleader tits and ass
Yep,
for money?
plenty of grape opportunities.
That
Is that
all
a
goes-
hard R?
That
or
all
is
goes
that a
out-
G?
that
Couldn't-
goes,
Well,
like,
yes, both.
Okay.
once you leave college, you're on your own.
Not a sponsor.
You have your own responsibilities now and shit. It's like, who wants to grow up? I'm playing football and getting paid to do it. If I go into the NFL, now I got to pay attention to like, what if I get hurt? All these what ifs and
Well,
shit.
that's the same concept in college. I think what it does is it changes the mind frame of the good athletes in college who A, want to continue on to the next level, just like you have in anything, or the B, semi-good dudes who are good enough on a team to win and be like, I think I'm fulfilled. I got my cash. I know I'm probably not going to make it the next level, or if I do, I'm not going to be
I think they
a
all
number
try to
one,
go out there
you
to
know?
try to make it to the next level. I mean, I wouldn't go out there and do it.
I wouldn't say all of them. I would say there's at least a handful.
Unless I'm going out there and I'm like a backup quarterback and I can throw and I get famous somehow by winning like a bowl game because the starting quarterback got hurt, then I would go open up a bunch of Papa John's and shit.
Dude, look at fucking Cannell. Like, he talked about going into the pros as a backup quarterback, and that's what he did for 7 years and made so much fucking money doing it.
know who
And
Cannell
he was on ESPN.
Coach Cannell?
No, he was on Coach Cannell. Cunell's.
Honestly, that's what I thought. He was talking about.
No, yeah, it's real.
That guy was not rich. He was teaching math and tonight.
No. No,
How's the Pythagorean theorem work again, Cannell?
start doing track workouts out
Shut
here.
up, bitch.
But he just played backup, and he said he got so scared when he had to go in and actually be the starter for a team.
Pussy.
He hated it. He just wanted to collect a check and be backup. He was good with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Steve Cannell? Steve, he was on Cannell and Rosillo.
Most
The
people,
radio show for a
most
long time.
people
It was
have that-
SVP and Rosillo, then SVP left, and then it was Rosillo and Cannell.
most people have that
speaking
mindset.
English right now?
though.
Yeah.
Who knows? Most people have.
Listen to the fucking radio, boys.
Most people already have that mindset with their daily work, and once you enter the NFL, that's what it is. It's work. It's not fun. You're making your nut, but you're not at home.
Yeah, but
I beg to differ.
You
dude.
practice. You practice. You can't go to Vegas. You can't gamble. You have to spend your money a certain
You
way.
can't. You can't gamble on football.
You got a bunch of people telling you what to do and how to be.
It's
there.
being
All
like
this-
married, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you?
As soon as you're contracted into all this shit, and then and you think you're gonna have time. Like, these people don't live the fucking style of life you see like on TV and shit. Like, they're practicing every day. They got to know their plays. They're getting their ass beat every day. They're
working out every
They're
day,
playing for a
probably
bunch of
twice a
mouth
day.
breather, jersey wearing fans at the bar that can say, "I can do that better than him." For like what, September to February if they're lucky, and then
the money, Joe.
They're practicing.
The money.
for
The more money, more problems.
for the 3 months of off season.
99
you know
hoes.
they're fucking around.
God.
They get a 3-month break where they're just like, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
No, I don't think they do have a 3-month break to do
Dude,
that.
Pac-Man Jones came out and said he was high in every fucking game he played.
Yeah, and he didn't do shit.
Pac-Man?
The guys that want to win.
Whoa.
'cause of his-
Watch your
Are
mouth.
you
know
talking
because
about?
of
Are
his
you talking
name.
about when he was a quarterback or when he was a cornerback?
He's not a quarterback, I'll tell you
No,
that.
I'm sorry, wide receiver. Because he played both. He was wide receiver.
I just
and
know him on
corner.
defense, and I just know he's just had a cool name, and that's probably why.
Dude, he's one of the best corners to play the fucking game.
He's one of the few to play on both sides.
No, somebody told me.
He didn't play much on offense, but he had a couple slot
Like that
things.
Travis-
but
like that
dude,
Travis
he
Hunter guy?
fucking changed the game on returns. Like, what are you
he
talking
didn't.
about? Oh my fucking god, who are you right now?
Who do you want on returns? Pac-Man Jones, who's gonna get caught by the ghost, or do you want fucking Devin Hester?
Okay, but you can't compare.
Devin Hester.
Devin Hester was like one of the greatest of all time of returns. Like,
No, you Pac-Man Jones boy over here.
And Hester only played as a fucking returner too until they slotted him on a receiver
he
for a
was
little bit.
No, he was a receiver before he was a return guy.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He did not get drafted as a receiver. He
Yes,
got
he did.
drafted as a fucking bullshit player.
I promise you, he was a wide receiver first.
Shit. You
No,
guys
he
are
started.
fucking garbage.
They started all their wide receivers off returning punts.
Usually,
and
yeah.
He just kept scoring. They're like, well, fuck, we might as well get.
Well,
him
in college, yeah.
No,
Well,
in
not
the
everybody can
NFL.
be a Matthew Slater. Okay.
In the Bears, he has. I think he holds the record.
Okay, they're Don Beebe. Let's just slow it down a little bit.
him and like Deion Sanders, most returns, and I think Diggs was like that too. Stephon Diggs had a lot of returns too.
You need to go back and watch some football, son. Pac-Man was a fucking
All
goat.
he watches is fantasy football.
It's fair.
I don't even watch that. I just look at names. So no, to be honest with you, I'm tired of the big four sports. I don't watch them anymore. What I watch is I stay up late and I watch these German activity sports that they have.
It's called porn, dungeon
Wow.
porn.
You know they actually have an Ocho now, right?
There's a thing that I was watching for hours, and what the competition was is this train went around in an oval, and it had like on its carts it had like different. It had the cars were cups to get a ball stuck in. And what you would do is you would release the ball and it would spin around this thing. So
Plinko.
you had to time it so that it would land in one of these cups as the train was going by. And you wouldn't believe all the fucking mouth-breathing Germans that would miss this. And they couldn't get it right. But I spent hours watching that, and I was like, I would watch this. And
If that was a gas chamber, they would have gotten the first shot.
So Joe is watching the circus, game
that's-
advertising channel.
those are the games. Those are the.
It's like QVC.
How bored are you, Joe?
Those are the things I watch now. Like, I'm tired of the big four. It's the same shit every year. And basketball's on its way out. Thank God.
I turned on a pickleball tournament.
And nobody watches hockey.
I turned on a pickleball tournament from it was either Arizona or
Yeah.
Florida.
Well, that's boring as
It was-
shit.
it was awful.
Yeah, I don't watch that
It was
shit.
they called it.
You
it
can
was,
smell the Bengay coming through the speakers.
They didn't call. Yeah, right. They didn't call it a professional tournament. They called it. I forget the name they used.
Sponsored by all the orthopedics.
But it was awful. Like it was these teams of people in their like 40s or 50s, and it was the slowest.
Yeah, and
fucking.
But hey,
I was like, how is this on
I don't want to
ESPN
ruin
right
any.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, I don't want to ruin any big four for you. And not saying that you do watch sports or care, but it's like, if you honestly thought about football, it's 14 minutes of gameplay. Like, how bored are people?
But there's a lot of stake in those
No,
7
there's
second
not.
plays
Not
or
for the
whatever.
players. The players, they get paid whether they win or lose or not. The only way you get paid in that train game is you got to win, motherfucker. You're out there to win. So unless we start telling athletes you're getting paid $80,000 a year to go play like everybody else on here, and you're not getting any special treatment until you win a Super Bowl, and then we'll talk.
Okay, I tell you what. You find the top 1% of train game players, and then make a league with them, and then maybe we can talk.
Well, when you say like train game,
Yeah, that's what's in my porn search, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
we got to get another name here. Like train game.
Okay, ball insertion
Dude,
game. Okay, is that better?
If we get no. Well, that's to be called Schnitzel ball or something.
Schnitzel ball.
Or something. But yeah, if we could pull it up
Strudel.
on the big
Strudel
screen,
ball.
we just all be sitting here betting, like putting money. That's all that matters is, can you bet on it? If you can bet on it, yes, you can make money on it. And that's like why the PGA is still going around, because people bet on like who's going to tee off first. They bet like on what arm the green.
Who bets on this
They
shit?
bet on what arm you put the green jacket in first.
Shut the fuck up.
Like, what arm is he
nobody,
gonna-
nobody bets on
There's
it.
a bet on that. Yeah, you can look it
That's
up on your phone.
nonsense. If people are betting on shit like that, then
It's
they're
on the
addicts.
fucking
They are
ESPN app
gambling
shit, the betting
addicts.
thing. They're like, what arm is the green jacket going to go on first, left or right? And you got a 50-50.
That's like saying, what eye did you open first when you woke up this
Yeah.
morning? Like, oh, I'm gonna $20 on the left eye.
Does a brown eye count?
Fuck, yeah, right.
But that's all like going to the Masters and shit is sitting there betting on shit. Like, people bet on turtles that'll fall into the pond first. Like which turtle's going to go in. It's all like if you can bet on it, people will show up.
How fucking bored are people? Honestly.
Yeah, pretty damn bored.
To sit out there in the sun and watch someone hit a ball onto a green, yeah, pretty fucking bored. It's going to be boring as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, like golf, I can get on board.
It's like
with that.
baseball. Like you can
Baseball is a different thing. Baseball is an incredibly
Just cut a cord, Joe.
An incredibly skilled game. It doesn't require a great deal of athleticism for the most part, but it is incredibly difficult.
Oh, I like baseball.
You're talking about a ball
bad,
this size going 100 mile an hour.
Oh, I hit it easy.
Yeah.
Give me my torpedo bat.
And then you're swinging a bat that is the same size, swung in opposition at the close to the same speed. Yeah. And you're hoping
Listen to the
make
logistics
contact.
guy.
Like,
He's got you on this.
This is fucking crazy. What happens in this game and that they're as successful as they are, that's impressive.
Well, hold on here. Define success, because what's your BPA that's saying it's a fucking success?
Well, okay,
300.
the Mendoza rate is 200, right? The Mendoza line?
200, yeah.
200. So if you're batting like a 260 or 275 or higher, you're doing good.
That just means you got to
At 600 bats on the year, though.
But that just
600 is a lot. Like you're playing every game and you're probably at the top of the lineup. Like a more realistic number is probably closer to 400, 4 to 450.
Okay, there, and Judge.
Yeah, but don't they have a stat where they have bat on ball versus like?
Yeah, and dick and hole.
Because like you can hit the ball and make contact, but you still get an out.
There's a lot of weird.
But there's also you can hit the ball and get a hit, and that's what your average is based on. Did you get on first? It's not based on whether you can hit.
But
or
a
not.
more important number is on base percentage than average.
Yeah,
like, you know,
because you got.
Well, technically, but then you start averaging walks into that motherfucker,
Well, yeah,
and then now it's like, okay, I'm just gonna take the hit every time.
But it has rules.
The mechanics of how they structure
it's-
baseball for stats is fucking stupid, and it needs to be overhauled 100%. Because you're talking about players who are leadoff batters who have a better on-bat percentage and maybe even more RPIs, but they're batting like a fucking 200 or like a 180, and they're considered shit. And we're gonna get rid of them for next year.
But the thing is like
There's so many more mechanics that go into it.
There's a defined area of the strike zone and batter's box, and you can change your stance in the batter's box. You can stand up high, you can stand back, you stand out, you stand in based off the pitcher. And
But that only affects you as the player.
You face the same pitchers every year.
no, it affects the pitcher too.
Every fucking year. They're not changing.
Not really, though, because if you're comfortable in hitting in one spot, you're not going to risk moving up in the box or behind in the box if you're not comfortable there and you haven't been taking whacks at that spot.
If you're throwing
now,
a
if you're
slider-
trying to offset, if you're trying to offset the pitcher, sure, but now you have to rely on you up at that spot to be able to do that. It's the Nomar Garcia part. I'm going to play with my gloves 15,000 times
To be honest,
because
yeah.
you're comfortable up there and you want
Sure.
to do the best you can.
There's
so,
a great deal of nuance to baseball, which is one of the
Right.
reasons I like the sport.
But hitting got easier, not pitching.
well, they use Nerf balls now.
If that were true, you would see the score of baseball games go up.
It is. Sort of it is going
Starting
up.
that dill out
I
there.
mean, like hitting, like making contact in general. Like I can go, like you can make contact with the ball. It doesn't mean it's going to be like a hit, like you're getting on base. But when you're a batter, and that's all you do day in and day out, and you train to hit balls off of the same pitchers.
Terminology out here is
I
on
can't
point.
tell you how much I appreciate that pause right there.
after off the same pitchers that you face year in and year out, they're not changing. If anything, they're getting worse.
No,
as
but
they old.
the pitching has dominated baseball for the last 5-6 years.
I don't know. It's maybe.
If you stretch Joe past his initial point, he'll fold. Just keep going back to him. He'll go.
No, I think it's easier for players over time to hit like the same pitcher throughout your career. I think it's harder. I think you excel higher as a batter the longer you can stay in the show, versus as a pitcher the longer you stay and you fall off, and it's because you start to get recognized.
Yeah, just open it the whole way because I'm gonna die. I'm roasting. I run hot, so.
So
Got this PEDs going on because we're talking baseball out here.
that's my
Fucking
theory
roid
behind
rage here in a
it.
minute.
Exactly.
Like the pitcher, like new pitchers do better. Like the guy from Pittsburgh, Mustache McGee over there.
Skeens.
He's great because no one's experienced him yet, but he's gonna get tagged here eventually. They're gonna start teeing off on him, and they'll move on to the next fucking.
Have you
guy.
seen the movement on his pitch?
No, I don't have
Okay,
baseball.
so he throws a slider.
Does it go straight, and then I have to watch how the curve?
I watched an at bat with him and Shohei Ohtani just from the other day, and he has a slider that goes like this. It wraps up and in and down.
Don't swing on that one.
It's like Joe's dick.
You can't help it because it looks like it's a high fastball the whole way there.
He'll lose it eventually. Just make contact. It's bunt.
Get that Tommy Johns. He's out, son.
Sure, there's
happen.
if he has a day where he doesn't have enough break on his pitch, they're gonna crush it.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Here we go. Now we're going to start bringing in fucking different fields and how high you're playing and what the atmospheric pressure is going to charge on that.
You're not wrong. You're not
thing,
wrong because
you know?
I mean the Mariners fucking stadium is one of the worst hitting parks in the league. Which is why their pitching numbers
Stadiums
look
are very
great.
important. We talked about this.
You know, it is absolutely. And I
bums
feel,
over there in the smell. No wonder why it's garbage.
I feel terrible for Julio, honestly, because like him and the rest of the team, they're all hitting in a place where they're like, fuck, can we
See,
just go
and
on
this
the
goes
road?
back to the BPA that we were talking about. Like, there's so much more. They need to change the dynamics of all this stuff and make it like more user friendly, and then also bring in all the different things that affect this shit.
Well, there's an easy way to
This
look
isn't
at
fucking high school where you're just playing a dirt field and be like,
Right.
there you go, I got
Yeah.
it.
I feel like there's an easy way to look at it, right? Like if your players have a lower average
Tim.
at your home fucking park than they do on the road, you probably should make a change.
Bring out the torpedo bats, or just, but that's the thing is like your design. Excuse me, your design park is like based on how you build your team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I don't know. What do they? Do you get?
What came first?
you-
Fucking first.
do you get
The
equal-
people or the park? I can't speak.
The fart
today.
of the shark?
Yep.
the park?
Don't trust either one.
But like, do you get as many? Do you play as many home games as away games?
Usually. It's
it's
pretty
even,
close
even?
split, yeah.
So you can make it to the playoffs on a 500 win loss.
You can, but you have to you have to win a lot of your away games.
You better be
then.
like 800 up on your home turf. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but again, if you have a home park where your
Your-
pitchers better be locked in.
Are you saying like that park's easy to hit on?
No, it's the opposite. It like there's a lot of fly balls because hits that would be homers in most parks are flyouts in Seattle
Because of how
how long the walls are.
Gotcha. Well, they're allowed to make it forever. Apparently.
Well, they
There's
can
no
change
rule.
it. There's no rule. It's
You have to have a
100%
minimum of
team discretion.
325.
But I don't think they can change it mid-season. They have to change it in in the
They bring the
offseason.
walls in when they're up the bat, and the next inning they just push them further back. Like, nope, sorry, this is how we're doing it.
Just put the walls on tracks. Oh, he's a righty. Let's move the
Every
this one
time
out.
Ichiro
Let's
came
in.
up to bat, they just shifted the outer
Yeah.
walls in 100 feet. He's got a 50-homer season.
Well, the Yankees made
He's putting it in play anyways. Again, underrated.
Their right field 309.
Fuck that
Everybody was
stupid
just
right porch.
crashed, and then they're grandfathered in, so they don't have to change.
No,
it.
they got that's a brand new stadium.
Yeah, it's not 325 though. It's still 309.
No, I know it's horseshit. The
'Cause
fact
they're
that they have a
grandfathered
it's such bullshit. Fuck the
The
Yankees.
same thing with Boston. If they built a new park, they can make their short porch. But that's a weird fucking park.
It is for sure a bucket list thing for me to one day go to a Sox game on the Monster.
They
Just
finally
sit
got
on
rid
the
of that
Monster.
stupid fucking ladder that was on the Monster. It was like a double if you hit it.
Really?
Yeah. It was an automatic double if you hit that stupid ladder. Because like the ball could like ricochet and go whatever. Yeah, so they
I'll have
finally
to
got
look
rid
at
of it.
that.
Yeah.
I've been a Boston
dumbass.
sports fan since I was a kid. Like,
Oh,
just
we're not
since I
gonna get
was-
along then. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. That's why I hate the Yankees. It's literally
don't
in
hate
me.
the Yankees.
No, I have to. It's
If it wasn't
it's a
for the
requirement.
Yankees, there would be no Boston.
Yeah, well, that's because that was when there were 6 baseball teams.
He went back and played for you guys at the end of his career, I think.
No, Clemens did.
No, Babe Ruth did. He went back and tried. And he's like, I can't help these fucking guys. All they do is eat mush and drink beer.
Fucking beans and
With their fucking teeth.
Look at these fucking guys. I want to go back with the Italians where it's cool and we had bread and steak every night.
now I got to look this up because I don't think you're right.
I think I am right. That's just weird about me is I'm just right all the time.
Oh, he started with them.
He started. Yeah, that's where the curse of the Bambino came from.
That's true, huh?
But I said he went back and played for him
I don't-
at the end of his career.
Is it really bad that this Yankees fan's really putting your knowledge of Boston in its shake right now?
I'm drinking tequila and White Claw. I probably just forgot.
Oh, speaking of which, can I have another pour?
Take it. That's absolutely.
No, it's just because I've learned being a Patriots fan that you have to know your shit.
Are you still a Patriots fan?
Yes,
Hey.
to a extent.
Hey.
But
Hey.
no.
Oh no, that's
Hey.
right. You're a Falcons fan now,
Yes,
right?
sir.
That's
We
right. I
drafted
saw
well.
that. I saw that.
Honestly, I think we traded to the team that was behind us. I think we had the 26th pick, and we traded for the 27th pick, just so the 27th team could take like a wide receiver, which we weren't going to take anyway, and we ended up taking a defense. I was like, "What the fuck? That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen." Like, just take the guy earlier. Like, we weren't going to take.
We don't want to pay him more.
We're already set on
The
offense.
Falcons, the
We need
Falcons made a
defense.
couple weird trades in this draft.
We should win that division. Oh, you want some? Yeah, we should win that division easily this year. I don't see anybody stopping us.
You're not beating Tampa Bay. Yeah, but they got better, and their defense is. Nope, I don't think so. Just portful, it's fine.
This guy over here. Fucking, Atlanta Hawks. Woo. Hawks.
Hawks, yeah. You know, it's funny about the Hawks. They don't deserve Trey. I can't think of his last name right now. That kid that came out of Oklahoma.
Cheers.
Trey Lance.
No. Trey. Fuck, what's his last name?
Trey Parker,
No,
Trey Chlamydia,
the basketball player. The Trey fucking.
Oh,
Trey
Travion.
Young.
Huh?
Travion.
Trey Young. Trey Young. That's it. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? No, but like, it's so funny. When he came out of Oklahoma, I just didn't like him. I just didn't care for his attitude. But I love the fact that he embraced being the villain of the league. And I respect him now. He's just like, oh, cool. You guys want to hate me? Fuck
every
yeah.
now and then
go.
I'll get on ESPN every year and I just check every month to see the standings of the big fours, the big four like NFL when they're all kind of like, well, what's ever in like if NFL's on, but right now it's basketball and baseball. Well, basketball should be playoff time. But I was like looking at basketball. I was like, all right, let's see where everybody's at here. I know the playoffs are coming up. March Madness is finally over. Thank God.
I think we're going to repeat this year, although I worry about OKC.
I look at the leader in the East, and it's the Cavs. I'm like, who the fuck are on the Cavs? Did LeBron go back?
They have a bunch of like really weird, unknown.
They're like it's like
role players that are really performing.
the
good.
Heat. Yeah, it's weird if you draft the actual role instead of jerseys. You know, you can play the game. It's like
Seriously,
the Heat, the Boston, and the Cavs. I couldn't tell you who's on their team, and they seem to be in it every fucking year and win or try to or almost win. But like any team that has like a major superstar on it right now, like back in the day, I used to know them all. I only know they're all on the West Side.
I just love that we're finally getting away from the super team shit a little bit. You know,
Is it that, or is it that the talent has just finally caught up to the league?
I think the talent caught up. If you can have like no names out there, like you're actually playing the game.
What I mean by the
and plus everyone's just fucking throwing up ducks and shooting anyways. No one's driving.
I know.
Like, did you see that fucking video that came out when they went from old school basketball to new school basketball and all these dunks and nuts in your face looking amazing, and then they would show elbows missing by this much and people were falling and flopping and shit.
Yeah.
It looks like
Okay.
It's garbage, dude.
like
It's
basketball in the 90s.
It's fucking if the LBGQT had a fucking league right now, it would be NBA basketball.
They got the colors for it.
They do.
And
no,
shorts.
but the basketball in the 90s though, they were playing against fucking plumbers and painters and shit. Like they were just,
Right, bring it back. What do they say? Hard times make hard men,
You know
which
all
makes
about hard.
soft. Oh fuck yeah, which makes soft men, which makes soft times. What? I can't remember how
got
it
ahead of
goes.
your
Somewhere around
times
there. Yeah, I
there.
did. But you know what I mean. It's in there.
you
Well,
chasing
you're
soft
saying that
men.
you're saying 90s basketball.
I like them soft.
You're saying 90s basketball was full of garbage?
It was.
Oh,
it was full. Now, that's not saying that all the players were garbage, but there was a lot of really average, mediocre basketball players. And the athleticism of current day players is miles beyond where they were then.
If you think so.
Yeah, just look at
I
guys
put the
like
dream team to any fucking team you can put together right now.
Okay,
and they put
again,
nuts in your face.
there were a handful that were incredible.
There's a handful now.
No, there's way more athleticism and practice and specificity to.
I would
to
say
all that
athleticism
now.
since when Jordan came along, but like
Even just in game preparation.
just playing the game. Well, technology's come along. That's why like when people blow their ACL in the NFL, nobody cares anymore. You just get it repaired. Technology's a lot better. Or yeah, there used to be career-ending things that happened,
Sure,
but as technology got better,
UCL, the Tommy John in baseball used to be basically a career.
or your Achilles in football, everybody comes back. Like And it's still hard, like in fantasy football. Like he
I
blew
still
out
don't know
his
how
knee.
Rodgers did that in like 7 months. He was coming back like from an Achilles. That's crazy.
Yeah, and we saw Nick Chubb.
Because he's the GOAT.
We saw Nick Chubb lose
Shut your
his fucking knee, and he's back
The
playing.
GOAT.
I mean, Jesus, if you took a
Well, he came back, but he has not been the same player
well,
since.
no, but if you took that injury back in the 80s or 90s or early
be done.
you're done.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not coming back.
Yeah, he had multiple tears, and I think he did like some internal damage. Like he did some gnarly knee shit.
Tank Dell will be back. And we all saw his gross knee injury during the playoffs.
Did you ever see that? Did you guys ever watch the video of that Louisville basketball player? It was a college game. It's been years ago now.
Playoffs.
He landed on a like a jump shot or something, and his bone in his leg split so badly that it broke out of his skin.
Compound fracture.
Oh, it was awful. It was one of the gnarliest breaks I've ever seen. That poor kid, I can't even imagine. Like, he was in so much pain, he was just screaming on the court.
They shoot him
They put him down.
Probably should have.
like a horse.
Honestly, I don't know. I think he actually came back to play, but it was, it was at least a year.
Shoot him up with that like heroin? No, like
Heroin.
Some,
What the
some
fuck?
fentanyl or something. Like it's hurting. Morphine.
Fucking interleague ball. No, I haven't seen that.
No, it's awful. It was one of the gnarliest breaks. It was almost as bad as
Pulled a Van
Alex
Damme
Smith.
when he snaps his leg.
Leg
Do a
breaks.
blood sport.
Well, yeah. What's his name? Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
When he smacked, like kicked that guy, did that shin block, and ended up wrapping his ankle in the backside of his leg.
foot
Like,
gave him a
my
fucking
God.
circus attraction and went around 360.
Just knocked him out and start using it as a numchuck to
God,
start
that's gotta
spinning
hurt.
your leg
The
around.
pain has got to be incredible once it finally catches up to you.
Yeah, it's probably a couple seconds of like, what's going on, and then just done.
Yeah, it's just your body in shock, and it's just like.
Yeah,
Both times I tore my ACL, it was the same deal. I was screaming like a fucking whale.
pussy.
I know.
I bet that hurts.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts.
It's not fun. I can tell you that much.
Fucking awful.
I bet it feels weird. Like,
You know,
what's my
I've
knee
talked about
floating
this
around?
before.
Especially
Like,
after you tear it before you repair it.
yeah.
I tried to play. So the first time I tore my knee, the urgent care doctor guaranteed. He said, "I'm 100% sure you didn't tear your knee."
I heard that one too.
I said, "Okay." So I went to
It
physical.
was a strain.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he told me.
Oops.
He said it was a strain. Sent me to physical therapy. I did physical therapy for like 6 weeks.
Don't you hear it pop or some shit?
No, I never did.
Fuck, I did, dude.
Did you really?
Oh, dude, it was. Yeah, go ahead. I'll tell you when I'm done.
So it was like 6 weeks of physical therapy, and it felt all right. I had one of those like neoprene braces with that little hole in it to keep your kneecap in place. I thought, okay, it feels all right. And I asked her, my physical therapist, I said, can I try and play basketball? She's like, yeah, your strengthening's going okay. Like, you just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you can trust it.
And I was out at the pole line in 21st
Oh.
basketball
Stomping grounds.
with Scotty. What the fuck was his last
Pippin.
name? No. The coach's son.
Stocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so he and I were playing together, and I just instant fucking
High
buckle.
school or something?
It was my senior year. Yeah. It was,
Oh, gosh.
and just instant buckle, and I was just like, cool shit. And then I finally went and saw it. Yeah. Well, but at that point, like, it just feels weird because your knee fully buckles, you lose all sense of structure.
It like pinches the nerve so you have no feeling.
Well, no, you feel it. It just feels really weird because it's out of place.
Yeah, like a dislocation.
Yeah.
Your skin's being pulled.
And so like I got it put back, and I was like, okay, this is still wrong. And I finally went to an orthopedic surgeon. It took him like less than 5 minutes. He's just like, feels this. Oh yeah. Oh, you have an ACL torn. Cool shit.
Yeah, dude, it's
You didn't know that? Yeah, you can't trust urgent care doctors.
now like they said the same thing. Like, oh, it's just strained. I'm like, okay, but I heard mine pop. Like,
Did you?
oh, it was like, a super. I mean, again, it probably wasn't loud. It was probably the reverb I felt through my knee when it popped. But I mean, it sounded to me like
Like when you
how
pop
did
a,
nobody
when
hear
you pop
this?
a pimple. Ooh. You guys hear that too?
Pop a nut
So I think maybe what I did is I partially tore it.
and then finished her off.
Well, yeah. So just at the tail end of senior year, I was in the gym running football plays with Tracy McCormick. I was playing DB, and somebody was throwing him footballs, and so I just decided to. I was like, yeah, this is smart. I just
Right.
hurt my knee a couple weeks ago. Like, yeah, let me just run some plays on hardwood with the starting wide receiver for our varsity team. This seems like a great idea. No, it was fucking dumb. and I'm pretty sure I finished the job when I was doing that.
Right. Yeah.
Pick my leg up, please.
Please,
Hey, you need this? You left something here.
I would really love an 18-month recovery. Thanks.
Yeah, no shit. Worst is trying to take a shit. You got your fucking, you know what I'm talking about, your legs in the brace. And like,
Post-op, yep.
if you're like, hopefully whatever leg you tore, you have the bathtub right here to post up on. But my house was the opposite. So bathtub was on good knee. Free space was on bad knee. So I had to like hoist my fucking leg up to try to take a shit. Dude, it's fucking miserable.
I can top that, as a matter of fact.
Pulley system all going.
The tub, so my second ACL surgery
Shit in the tub.
was in
Thought about it.
2015. And I was in a full straight leg brace for, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it was. And I flew to Chicago to have knee surgery. The team doctor for the Bulls and the White Sox is the guy who did my second surgery. And I stayed at my ex's apartment in Chicago for a week because you can't fly for 7 days.
Yeah. Get
Right.
them clots, bud.
So in my infinite wisdom, I decided to do a colonoscopy in the same trip.
Oh, you're fucked? Let's go ahead and fuck you some more.
Yeah, well, I was living in North Dakota at the time. I was like,
Just ask one of your neighbors to fucking put a finger in your ass,
There
dude.
might be some polyps up there. I'm 19.
Yeah, what the fuck?
col-
I heard this shit fucking feels great. I can't wait. There's some coffee greens in there too.
Right, yeah, no, it was
fuck?
perfect. The colonoscopy wasn't the bad part. It was the prep for the colonoscopy.
Yeah,
which
you're
is
shitting your ass out.
with a fucking straight leg
Yeah.
brace on crutches.
Take this mag citrate and
And
sit
so
out for a day.
for like 24 hours, I was on crutches back and forth from the toilet, trying to hold my
Oh,
leg
my
in a
God.
position that didn't hurt constantly.
I would have just
Like,
gotten your ex's bathtub and just shit.
Yeah, come find me in 24 hours. I'm sitting in this.
Just stay
I
in
was
there.
fucking miserable for that entire 24 hours. Like I was in so much pain.
What the fuck is? Why? Why would you do a colonoscopy?
I didn't think about it. I was
Does
like,
your
okay, well,
insurance
I gotta
require
At that time, it was like 55. It wasn't even down to 40
It
yet.
was either that or pay a $4 premium on my. All right.
No, I dealt with IBS for a long time, and I was trying to figure out like what the fuck is causing this. So they were like, okay,
Was your orthopedic surgeon the same guy who did your fucking?
he's just like, oh, let me double you up.
No, actually, I moonlight as a fucking.
We're just gonna take some intestinal wall.
That's
We're
right.
gonna tie this to your knee.
Your ACL is not made out of your small intestine. It'll be strong.
The scope feels like a
Stretches.
mushroom. Don't worry about that.
Stretches. Oh my gosh. They do it at the same time. You got the poo doctor in there.
Yeah,
and they'll-
yeah,
It's the same dude. That's what I'm telling you. Where's my watch?
that's right. That's why the Bulls like him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You should have. You prank the doctor's office. You call them back and be like, "Hey, did you guys lose a ring?
It says 92 champions.
I found it in my ass."
I think it says Michael Jordan on it.
Oh my God! Why were you on drugs? Is like
No,
the
I
hydrocodone
was like, okay, well, if I'm
You know
gonna
what?
fly
My
to
ass
Chicago,
needs
I
to be
flew
cleaned
to
out.
Chicago for this surgery, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna make a fucking trip out of this.
I'm gonna get that chili dog out of my
Yeah.
ass too.
I did another trip where I flew there for eye surgery, and I had all kinds of other.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
How many surgeries? What's wrong with you?
I mean,
How many? What'd you have eye surgery for?
Well, because I fell on my head as a child.
Ouch!
Yeah, so I have a lazy eye. See,
I do now. How do you do that?
I don't know. I just know how to control it somehow. I can
Not attached to your retina or something?
No, what? No, it's so basically like literally. I at a Costco.
Nah, I just played video games all the time.
Right? You could like audition for it, man. Like fuck. Like we need you to actually move both eyes. I can't.
I can't. It's only the one. No,
It's redneck
and
cousin.
it's one of those things. You either love it or you hate it. Like my ex-wife, she hated it. She hated when I did it. She always wanted me to have the surgery, and I finally got around to it. I was in Chicago for knee surgery, and I went down.
Same
to-
doc.
No, yeah, right.
Same doc.
Yeah.
Same colon.
That's right.
Yeah.
While I was there, I went and saw at Northwestern Medical
Same
Center, and I went in for an appointment. I was like, okay, fine, I'll just get a consult on it. And I went in there, and the guy that was going
What's
to
the
come
needle?
in was an eyelid surgeon, and they were like, "That's not the guy you need." I was like, yeah, that's not what I fucking said when I scheduled this.
Hey, you got both your eyelids. What the fuck?
You're good.
So she's like, well, I'll go get the right doctor and see if he can come in here for a minute. Fortunately, he could. He came in, he saw my eye, he's like, okay, let's do surgery. I was like, no, let's fucking talk about this because I don't know.
Yeah. I saw your insurance. It's great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well,
You're getting the colon blow, right? You're
honestly,
right.
that's kind of how I rationalized it a little bit. I was like, well, I'm doing knee surgery, so I'm already satisfying all my money. I might as well do another surgery this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm still undecided on whether or not I should have, because while it's easier to control, it's easier for it to veer off when I'm tired.
Wear glasses or something. I don't know.
Glasses don't help. Well, they do a little bit. They ease the eye muscle.
How
from
did you
having
fall?
Out of a cart at Costco and literally landed.
His parents were trying to fucking return him.
Why didn't you sue Costco?
No, well, it was probably my parents' fault.
They made concrete.
Oops! We dropped him again.
And it was like the 90s when common sense.
Yeah,
still
we
existed,
were
you
pretty stupid.
But
you know,
now it's like you could own like 9 Costcos with that. Shit.
Well, that and his parents would be in jail. You know,
Yeah.
court
that
case.
too.
that's all right.
Jesus.
They deserve it.
Want my
I
money?
love you, Mom and Dad. I'm just kidding.
Were you bleeding out of the head and shit? Did you get knocked out?
My mom thought I was dead, like because I landed like on my head on the side of the face, like coming down, and yeah, like she thought I broke my neck.
Did you black out? Though?
I have no
Oh,
recollection.
you were a baby.
Yeah, I was small.
It was 2 weeks.
I have no. I was like 4 or 5, I think, is what is my understanding of it.
Oh, you weren't a baby. You wouldn't remember that.
I don't.
Yeah,
I have no recollection.
Knocked his fucking 4 prior years right out his ass.
You probably had this whole different personality, and when you woke up, you're like, "Hey guys, this is me now. This is what I sound like." You're probably like, "Hey, I'm gonna play video games, go to the park, and have fun." Now you're like,
I just
reading
bypassed
books.
puberty.
Yeah, it's scary if you get knocked out when you're a kid. You can have a brain trauma that you just change your personality.
Well, I don't remember the majority of my childhood.
I fell off my bike and hit a wall barrier, concrete that like people put up to hold because they got an elevated.
Retaining wall?
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. I thought you were saying something about my retainer at first. Like, fuck you.
The retainer fell. What? Your retaining wall.
Yeah, the retaining wall.
That's a good fucking name for your retaining tooth. It's the wall that holds the teeth in.
Hit the side of my head on the top part of it.
Ow.
And I remember being knocked out because I remember just being, it was dark. And then
Wait. You remember being knocked out?
Yes. And I remember the.
I'm glad somebody.
An out of body experience.
I'm glad somebody caught that. Yeah. I remember being knocked
I
out.
remember being knocked out.
No, you remember
lucid dreaming?
before that, and you remember after. You don't remember being knocked out.
Your brain knows you were knocked out. It's like you're remembering when.
it doesn't. That's the whole point of being knocked out.
Exactly. It's a fucking defense
How
mechanism.
could I tell you I was knocked out then?
Somebody else probably told you that.
I remember being out. Like, I don't remember at the time.
You remember waking up.
It's like when your brain knows you came in for something that you knew you forgot. You're like, hey, I was going in to grab something. What I forgot.
Just
already.
called being retarded.
How does your brain know you forgot it if you,
That's the whole point of hypnosis is your brain blocks out trauma like
So-
that.
But I remember,
you have to
you get
force
knocked
to
out.
remember.
So, but I remember waking up and the owner, the lady of the house, was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, I remember crying, but
See, now you
I
should
could have
have
been
sued
a different, could have been a different kid. I could have. I couldn't have, but my parents could have. But no, I could have been a whole different kid, and then now look at me,
I wish you would have been.
all because of this. But yeah, that's what's scary about brain injuries as a kid. You can just go from one thing and then hit your head, and now you're a totally different person.
Yep.
Not even like
See,
talking
I was destined to have a 12-inch cock, and then I fell out of the cart at Costco and
your brain's
left
like
with what I got.
Your brain
Mental.
Your brain saw a mirror and was like, "You don't need that. We're gonna put this tissue somewhere else."
That's why they go fucking look in your ass to find out where that other 8 inches went.
Do you know you got 8 inches of cock up here you can pull out still?
Oh, look at me.
It's stuck there on purpose.
Did you have a brain injury when you were a kid? I've seen this before.
Yeah, exactly. And then the ortho's like, yeah, I've seen this lots of times. Like, why are you in here still?
Is it time for my next colonoscopy?
They got the big light on still.
Bring in the
Jesus
oral.
Christ. So how many surgeries have you had?
Like
surgeries
6
on your hands? Who counts?
I had carpal tunnel surgery, and I crushed my index finger in a metal press. They had to stitch it back together at the hospital, which it actually regrew really, really good because the whole tip of this was fucking gone.
It looks curved, but yeah.
It's a little
For his pleasure.
That was where they had to. That was the cleanup with the stitches right there. I had.
They have to bring the metal press in. They just lift it up.
They're questioning it.
They interrogated that son of a bitch. You know what's funny is that the company actually blamed me for that.
Yeah, they don't want to pay.
They were like, "Yeah, you did it wrong." I was like, "No, that's not how that shit works."
Not yet.
Well, yeah, right. No, and then I had two knee surgeries, and then I've had eye surgery and shoulder surgery.
Both knees or the same?
Just
knee?
the same knee.
Ass surgery too.
Not yet. No, I'm saving that for later. For for my pleasure.
Oh my god. Eye surgery. That's gotta be weird.
It was weird.
They use a laser
because you have to be awake.
Oh my god.
And so like they had my eyes taped open like this, and so they were using hooks and knives because they had to cut the muscles and then reposition them and stitch them inside the eyeball. And so like
they give you a shot in your eye.
Well, so they put you under briefly to do like a local anesthetic, and then they bring you back out of general.
Why don't they just leave you under?
Because they need your eye motion.
Oh.
So and this was trippy. So they had like they had a scalpel and a hook that they were using, and as they crossed the threshold of the eyeball, they fucking disappeared for me.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like where'd it go?
You're just waiting.
Yeah, honestly, it tripped me the fuck out. But yeah, I had the stitch. They left too much on the end of the stitch, and I had to go back because it was causing fucking like
Irritation.
leakage and irritation. Yeah, but
Same with his ass. They left a stitch in there. It was causing leakage and irritation. Yeah.
that's just extra lube
Yeah. Well, fair.
for my fourth colon.
IBS my ass. No, literally IBS my ass. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It hurts.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot. I've never broken a. Well, I did a hairline fracture in my foot, but other than that, I've never broken a bone. But I've had surgery several times.
Foot pain hurts. Oh my god. I almost broke my foot. I probably did break my foot. My toe's all fucked up. I got a bunion type thing I need fixed.
Wait, isn't that like it's like a lump on the like a bone thing, right?
I can show you. You tell me.
We call it chlamydia of the toes.
Could be chlamydia of the toe. Like, yeah, look at this thing. It's all fucked up.
Oh,
what is that?
That's the pearl within the clam.
Like, see, like my toe used to be straight until I broke it. Like, look at that. Would you pay to see that?
That's something. I mean, is that? I don't know. Is it quite bearded lady good? I don't know.
Would you pay like Feet Finder? I mean, I don't know if you're a foot person.
I'm not, but.
Why is it so hot in here? Fuck,
I know,
sweaty.
You can start talking about your fucking feet.
I'm gonna take the cum jacket off.
Get excited. It is warm in here.
There we go. I'm wearing like a winter fucking vest. What the fuck? My pits are sweating.
Well, it is starting to get warmer.
Oh, that's all right.
I'll have to put a fan in here once we're done with the ceiling.
Get AC in this bitch.
I like how you have your name on one of the boards above you.
Oh, it's because they were dropping other people's stuff off.
That's when he finally takes the time to actually, call it over. That's the one he's going to use.
Don't they do that?
That's the rope board.
Don't they write your
No,
shit
this
on
is
your
when
stuff?
you passed out and somebody was just like, okay, I need you to know where you are.
Well, they spelled it right. That's what Eric was talking about. Now I can see. I was like, wow, it is up there.
I like that it says one of and then doesn't have a number after.
One they probably forgot some stuff.
They were a little high that day.
That's my OnlyFans account.
One of one? No, just one of.
One OF.
One of what out here? Is there gonna be more? Oh my gosh.
It's funny.
Joe, do you have some things written down over there?
I do. I'm gonna pour me one more shot for my third one, and then I'll get into some stuff here and see what we can talk about.
Okay.
You got anything that you written down?
Of course, dude. Doing some deep diving. Have you guys heard of the code name Broken Mirror by chance? Military code name?
No.
So
I heard of Broken Arrow.
it's it was a strategy guide for how the military would survive a zombie apocalypse.
Really?
Yeah. So it was set forth 2009, and it was pretty much their strategy going forward on if this happens, this is what we have to do to make sure nothing gets taken over. This is like first line of defense, working their way down. And depending on how you look at it,
It's good, right?
they said it was fictional, after the fact, but one of the captains in there says this is a non-fiction. This is absolutely true. This is what we're going to take for the basis of going forward. Excuse me. So I just don't know if you guys heard about it because I thought it'd be funny, you know, especially you doing your NASA stuff, if you ever came across that with zombie apocalypse taking over. You know, everyone thinks about it. The movies, obviously, the genre, the fucking TV shows, you name it, but to actually see it in a playbook for the U.S. military, it's pretty wild.
That's, yeah, huh. I don't know. I mean, they've got to have, you know, what do they call that? Contingency plans for everything, right? Like, that's why they made the Space Force at all,
Right.
Because they're like, well, man, what if?
What if there are aliens?
You know?
We get our ass beat. And
Right?
so-
Aliens come, and we're like, oh, we're unprepared.
yeah.
Well, see, and doing a dive into that too, that brought up the Con Plan 8888, which was the U.S. military's thing of dealing with interdimensional beings. Another hard fact that came out in like 2009 or 2010.
Which we have no shot to defend against.
Well,
Right.
they're in
much.
different dimensions, though. That exists all
What
the time.
they were talking about was if the electronic reverb of the stratosphere, if it failed, that it would open up these dimensions, and then they actually had a name. It was called phantazoids, where the interdimensional beings coming in, and this led into the zombie thing because what would happen is when the electrical magnetic field would kick back in, it'd be so high that it'd reanimate living and dead tissue, hence the zombies.
They think they already did that with that collider in Europe, the hydrogen
The
thing.
Hadron
There's
Collider,
two.
yeah.
There's two theories on it. Why? One theory that it's because of that why we're having all these fucking weird ass Mandela effects, and the other theory
What,
is
because of the collider?
yeah, the other theory because they open up different dimensions. So that's like why like you're seeing all this shit. That's like why are there so many Mandela effects right now? And it's like I remember it being called this. It was 100% called this. Or the other theory is like they ended the world and we're in a simulation right now as they're trying to repair it.
I believe that.
So
I think I'm on board with South Park. We are a reality TV show for an alien race of some variety.
there's got to be. They're definitely watching us, laughing.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you look back
Not
in
me,
history,
but, you know.
the Sumerians were supposedly 12-foot fucking beings that
Right.
were monsters, and,
Yep.
and they allegedly built the pyramids and all that. And I mean, you see documentation of you know, pictures on pyramids and cartouches and different shit in Egypt, you know, about these beings that were just monsters. And you're like, okay, cool. So either you had a very vivid imagination, or you experienced reality in a way that we can't even fucking fathom.
Or they missed the hieroglyphic that read not to scale.
The one small print that they fucking missed. Who reads instructions out here?
They put that outside the circle. Haven't you seen Stargate?
Right, exactly.
This being was as tall as the pyramids. The fuck? Like, hey, Jeff, maybe it's not to scale because they didn't have enough crayon on the cave. But
Well, exactly. It's the 1 to 100, and like, no, it took 1,100 slaves to build this pyramid. They
Per
forgot
day.
the dash.
Per
It was the
day.
1 to 100.
Yeah,
yeah,
1,100
exactly.
per day.
Yeah,
yeah. But then it goes back to like how old is the Earth really? Maybe there were dinosaurs and shit back then that they can move stuff, or maybe the gravity wasn't as high back then. I don't know.
Yeah, surely they had saddles on a T-Rex.
Well, not
Sure.
those fuckers.
All we have is bones.
they're not gonna fight you off.
All we have is bones.
What are they gonna do?
We don't know what their behavior was, right? Like,
They
you
could
know,
have had feathers.
Are they ill-tempered sea bass?
They could have had giant birds that flew it up there.
Yeah. Did
Well, they
ha-
say dinosaurs, like, they had it all wrong. They mostly had fucking feathers.
Well, certain ones did. T-Rex and Velociraptor, yes. The Brontosaurus, you know.
Right. Yeah, not
now
all of
call
them,
it-
but the
yeah.
majority, they weren't all lizards.
There were a handful of them that were feathered beings, as opposed to being scaled like they originally thought.
Right.
Yeah.
And what they do, hit them with a fucking pillow and tar? I doubt it, Lumbrea.
Yeah, it's probably true. Like, well, probably could be true how they fucked up the T-Rex arms. Like, they're probably not arms; they're probably wings. Like the way like the bones are
It could be.
sculpted,
Yeah.
and they just put them out as
And
arms.
they had like some membrane that went out past the arms, you know, sort of like you see in a bat.
It could be like a huge chicken. That's why they couldn't fly, because they weighed too much. You know what I mean?
It probably tastes good too.
Probably. Got that T-Rex egg,
Goddamn
baby?
teeth.
Just have some T-Rex protein in you, man. You'd be building fucking pyramids left and right out here.
Well,
Exactly.
there's just so much historically that we just don't understand. I mean, you know, they talk about the civilization of Atlantis, which has been documented by multiple different historical
Societies
documents that they
stuff.
found. Yeah, you know, but allegedly they mastered the use of magnets to a degree that they had a civilization that was more advanced than we did currently.
Right.
You know, but like if that's true, which I don't know if it is or not, but if it is, that's fucking amazing.
Well, it's the concept of Fallout, the video game, right? Like you're on a hierarchy of what your people or settlements or society's going, and then one thing just changes it slightly, that path. It just changes. Yeah. And so, yeah, you might still be in the 1950s era of television, cars, and buildings and clothes, but medically speaking, you're way advanced and you have robots that can do all this stuff instead of things growing, you know? Like, look at the revolution, you know, and the Renaissance, and like certain things could have changed a little bit differently, or maybe art became more of a bigger thing instead of what was made out of art.
Sure. Or the movie Elysium, right, where they have a civilization that's on a space station.
Right.
They can literally have a machine that cures cancer and cures whatever ails you, but on Earth is just this fucking garbage destruction and a post-apocalyptic, you know, type environment. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe Atlantis was the ocean version of that as opposed to being space.
Yeah, what's on the dark side of the moon, motherfuckers? Tell us.
You know, who knows?
I just want more for advanced civilization to be more than just stone and shit.
Right.
Like, where's the ship at, bro?
Yeah.
Why didn't you mummify the fucking alien thing that taught us how to, like, I don't want to see cave paintings. Like, stop. That's like, you know, like, don't, like, unless we're saying, like, everybody back in the day was stupid and they were able to make a stone figure like this, that's advanced. Okay, sure. But if we can't figure out how they did it, show me the fucking ship they flew in. Like, those things had to run out of fuel and crash around here somewhere.
Sure.
It's got to be
I mean,
something.
the pyramids could have been a Stargate.
Well,
you know?
that's the problem I have with the pyramids, right? Like, current engineers cannot figure out how they constructed the fucking pyramids, right? Like, you're talking 3,000-4,000 years ago, and they were able to build buildings. Now, supposedly the basilica is an issue because we don't have they consumed all of it, and there's or almost all of it. There's almost none left on Earth.
Right.
But if they can
Like
if
the
they
Roman fucking night after pill.
the roadways and all, yeah, exactly, right. But if they can construct something back then that we can't reproduce now, that's nonsense. That's fucking ridiculous.
Right.
Like, how is that possible with all the technology that we have?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
I
It's
think
like
we can. I just don't think we want to. We just say it's easier to say, yeah, we can't do it, than for society to be like, yeah, prove it.
But if that was the case, they would at least give you the tech.
I mean, come on.
Or tell you what the tech was.
We can we build fucking skyscrapers that go up into the air to withstand wind and earthquakes.
Not planes, though.
You can't. Yeah.
They were built
No.
to
Too soon?
No, they can't withstand conspiracies.
Fair point.
Is this conspiracy proof?
But
you're
yeah,
telling me we
but we're
can't-
also not going
you're
into the
telling me
ocean
we
either.
Can't put a
you know?
million stones
we've
together.
only explored.
I've seen the Luxor at Vegas, and tell me that's the best pyramid on the planet right now. Like,
And it shoots a fucking light out of its
it's
ass.
made out of glass.
I want to see that sphere so bad.
Yeah, it's made out of fucking glass. So don't tell me we can't build a fucking pyramid. I think it's just a way so we don't have to tell all the mouth breathers to be like, all right, let's.
No, but it's
We're not gonna waste
it's-
taxpayer money on building the pyramid.
It's
people.
the precision with which they built it, though.
Well, they had all the time in the world, man. I gotta
they?
wake up and watch shorts. Yeah, you got thousands of years. You're a slave and shit. What are you gonna do for entertainment?
I don't know, jerk off.
You're telling me every slave was so mystic about how they did things that had to be precise because
What
they
could
just
you-
knew it was it?
Yeah, what could you be doing 5,000 years ago that was so
Wait,
exciting?
you think that they were well fed, well nutritioned, so that they were like, man, I got 18 hours in me today.
Of course.
They just had an abundance of them. But like,
Yeah, you never heard of the Pyramid Laborers Union?
I'm
you know?
just saying, like the pharaohs,
Masonry.
and the Egyptians in general. What are
How
you
many
doing?
Hebrews do you
Of
think
course
they had?
You're gonna build it a lot, and they're the chosen people, so they got special powers. They can build
true.
shit.
That's
so.
true. God.
If he can part the waters, he can part the sand and get their ass to work.
It's
We're
like,
on
yeah.
That's what the pyramid is.
Yeah.
God.
Who knows? Maybe it fell from outer space and it's not supposed to.
You know,
But it lines up with Orion. Fuck. All right.
Yeah, it's where it came from. How do you think they're going to get back? It's like marking trees when you're in the forest.
hilariously, that
Everything lines up with Orion. My
That
fucking
shit
swing
is-
set lines up with Orion.
that shit is why I believe in the Sumerians. It's because, like, in order to have that as big as shit as they had, man, you have to have fucking 12, 15 foot tall motherfuckers that can carry that shit, and they're just gone.
Well, David versus
Well,
Goliath.
supposedly they had giant bones and whatnot in the Smithsonian, and guess what? Oops, they disappeared. So they found them, that spot up in Alaska. I can't remember what the guy...
Boneyard.
Yeah, whatever that place is. But supposedly, or allegedly, the Smithsonian had this big archaeological find of bones and giant bones, skulls, femurs, all this stuff. And then
We threw them in the Hudson.
they're gone. Yeah.
Or the
yeah, they
Potomac or
put, yep.
something. Whatever river.
See,
the Delaware.
23andMe says that I'm 2.3% Neanderthal, which means I'm probably royalty to you fucks.
Probably.
Could be.
But
If we kill you like we did all the other ones, you ain't shit.
Speaking of Smithsonian, the Pope died. But
Is he going in? Are they going to mummify his body and stick him up there?
They might.
Was it Francis?
I don't know, but there's a.
What are you on your? What are you on your period?
Apparently, there's a prophecy where
Come on, Francis
know,
movie,
They
nothing?
know all
Come
the
on,
popes
fuckers.
from the beginning of
The
Pope,
fucking Departed.
from the beginning of Pope time, so they know who the
Pope time.
They,
Sounds like a TV show your children watch.
no, it's like-
but they're too young to watch it
Does that
because
not-
they're all boys. Know what I
Does that
mean?
not sound
Don't
like-
watch that one.
Does that not sound like poop time?
this is the last Pope, and then they say after this Pope, it's the end of the world, or supposedly during this Pope, it's.
I feel like
supposed to be the
they've
end
been
of the
saying that for like 75
world. No,
years.
this time it's coming from the Catholic
It's
Church.
just because the church
The-
numbers
the
are down. They're
Catholic
just
Church
trying to
as
bring more
opposed to
people
the
in.
Protestant church.
yeah, opposed to those other churches.
Those fucks.
They're like the Bostons of the Yankees.
That's
Just-
right.
it's like
Well, now the church is DEI. They're gonna be putting out pink smoke up in the fucking air too.
probably.
No, that
rainbow
was
shit.
Francis. So now they're gonna probably go the other direction. They'll be like, oh man, we gotta kill.
It's just
Jews."
like Republicans and fucking libtards, dude. Like how
go
hard,
back and
how
forth.
hard of the center you want to go.
Yeah.
Well, they were pretty far left with Francis. Like
They
he
were.
was-
But
yeah,
they have shit in their basement. God knows what they have.
Oh my god.
Could you
so
imagine being able to
much.
walk through there? I guarantee they have all the alien shit and the pyramid shit because that'll, declassify Jesus as not being a real person
can't
or
we
something.
know? Why can't we see it?
Well,
what do
supposedly he was real,
It's
but
not
he-
gonna, if I
just
saw an
his
alien, it's not going to
divinity
make
and
me
all
want
that,
to rob
yeah.
a 7-Eleven. Like, just show me the fucking alien shit. Be like, oh fuck,
Not Jesus robbing it. Leave it alone.
It may make me question faith, kind of thing. Like, all right, maybe.
No,
all
but
the
that's what they
religions
can't
are
have.
bullshit.
They can't have a crisis of faith.
Put it this way: faith is the power of not knowing but believing. Right. So if your beliefs are strong enough, that makes you more technically
No,
faithful.
it is.
So
it is weak enough because it is
Fair
a
point.
it is a
Fair
lack
point.
of your
Good
own
point.
self awareness and your own confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Divination, I guess you could say.
right.
You're relying on
crutch.
some other fucking being saying, okay, I'm not responsible because this person created me this way, or this being, designated.
Yeah,
that
but-
this is what I
Which
did.
borders that line of which
Said-
way do you go?
Said
Right.
beings,
Yeah.
if they discover another alien race, everything in pretty
Falls
much
apart.
falls apart in the Bible.
Yeah,
It's like, well,
for sure.
What about these people or whatever the fuck they are from?
But
planet-
does it really? Because it also doesn't talk about
No, it does.
alien,
It does.
different alien beings outgoing.
that's
Like
why- that's
you
why-
could, but you could say God. It's not saying that God did not create them.
it does for us.
No,
Well,
no, not really.
Yes,
Because
and
we still
It talks
have-
about heaven and earth and the divinity of what's going on here. It
God-
doesn't necessarily speak about what's going on out here.
It doesn't-
And what does it make another? I'm just.
Yeah, because they
Play with me here for a second.
No, that's
it doesn't
because
mean that
they-
other planets with other forms of life don't have the same
No, they
God
already-
or different gods.
No, you're right.
But he spoke to them through a fucking burning,
a different
burning
Bible.
tree instead of a bush, and they had
Yeah.
like
No, they believe in the Bible. They believe there's this ether thing around the earth, and then once you go past it, you're in heaven. They don't believe in shit that's out in space. Like that doesn't exist.
that's
I feel like that depends.
That's your
Like what do they call
that's a
the-
breakdown
what
of
do they call
something
the-
completely
what do
different.
they call the fucking
Dimensions
shroud
or whatever,
around
but-
the world? That
I don't know about that, but
there's like a thing in the Bible they call like the heaven thing that you can't go through, and that's why when they try to prove it, when you see like a rocket leave the atmosphere, it just poofs, and they're like, see, it just went like this like water vapor and shit.
Yeah, but they're also not putting heaven as a physical force that you go there. It's not above earth as in like you leave the atmosphere and then you're in heaven. It's a whole soul thing of like your entity of a person and what you do and how you exist later on. It's not you're born again in heaven, in a sense, as your physical body as you would take it.
The firmament is what they call it.
the what?
The firmament. Have you heard of this?
No.
The firmament in Genesis 1 is the firmament in Hebrew. I'm not even trying to pronounce that word. Is described as a vast expanse that separates the waters above from the earth. So
it's supposed to be like the atmosphere.
Yes, it's believed that it says, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of waters and let it divide the waters from the waters. Genesis 1:6, the heavens. So it's basically the firmament separates earth.
He doesn't even know what the fuck he wrote.
He didn't write it. Whoever wrote Genesis wrote it.
That's interesting.
So they call it the firmament up there. So therefore, there is no alien race or anything past it. They can't go past the firmament.
I mean, I know that is
It's already been disproven,
a traditional thought
Has
of
it? Yeah. NASA.
Bible.
Elon Musk, dude. The real Jesus.
Well,
Jeez.
You said it, man. No one
because
fucks with the Jesus.
They only go into low
Orbit.
They
don't even go
right?
past the firmament.
So I mean, there could be an argument for that. But what I would say is, and this was always a point of contention for me growing up a Jehovah's Witness. What's to stop? Say there is a God. Say there He did create this environment for us. He gave us His Son. He gave us this Bible. This whole environment, right? What stops Him from doing that on another planet and saying, "You guys are the only ones"?
Right.
Why? Why not? I mean, there's no harm in that because, yes, okay, maybe he's lying, but ultimately,
It's not even that because you're only led to believe what you should believe.
Right.
So it could be him taking as his masterful teachings of doing it that way. So when we all meet at the gates of heaven, then it makes more sense. So
If there
there's
even
so
is a
many,
heaven.
but
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like-
there's so many different ways to take that and to teach it and to
And this is and
be
that's
very vague
that's
about
ultimately
things.
Why that I have largely given up on religion in general because there's so many different ways to interpret religious belief, spiritual belief.
Well, that's-
and we're not saying it's bad or anything. You know, it's great. If your religion,
It can be for sure.
absolutely.
Interpret's a nice word. I would call it backpedaling on a lot of shit going on now. Now, like the Pope and Catholics, like you can be gay and shit. You can't be gay and shit to be in Catholicism.
That's all-
And stuff.
but-
backpedaling. Well, okay,
But it's
we're
all
doing it.
interpretation.
So just release the aliens and backpedal and be like, oh, what? Okay, so God.
All I got to do is write a New Testament.
And all this other shit.
I mean,
Here
fuck.
it was.
But it also-
we had 15-foot
It could also
human
be
beings
like,
and we just didn't
like
want to talk
maybe
about it.
You found the dirt.
we're the alien species, and that's why we see like all these Bigfoots and weird
Sure.
shit in the center.
And that could have been, and maybe
Damn
we
it.
just found, writings from somebody else when that was actually for that race of people. And
wanna
then we've been reading it wrong. That's why we can't interpret it because we don't have the fucking capacity to understand it, where the other beings before us completely got it.
I want to find the Loch Ness so fucking bad.
Oh, we already,
It's already, but we already disproved it,
we
dude.
already proved it. You don't listen to our
No,
episodes.
if you did, you would know what it was.
You know what the Loch? We already
No.
they already proved what the
you
Loch
have
Ness.
not proved shit.
Yeah,
You want to know what it is?
Sure.
You want to tell them?
you go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
Okay, you ready for this?
I'm listening.
They finally figured it out that it's the penis of a whale.
In a lake
It's in a loch.
in Ireland,
It's in a loch in Ireland that goes to a larger body of water called the ocean.
a whale's penis,
Just flipping. How you
also
doing?
known as a dork.
Yep. How you doing? It's upside down.
So
Fucking
you
nerds.
fucking dork are trying to tell me that this asshole
No, penis.
Penis.
has received a penis. No,
Yeah. So that splushy and
I don't believe it. I don't believe it
that
for a
Loch
second.
Ness-
No fucking way.
that loch.
We're gonna make little plushy animals and
They
just
can-
dicks. Call them Nessie.
They can guarantee me all they want to.
Yeah, they already proved it.
No,
There's
they
photos of a whale
There's
deck next to it. It's like,
bullshit. Nope.
okay.
Nope.
This non-believer over here. Bring back Jesus. That's all I gotta say.
Back the goddamn aliens.
Why do you want Loch Ness Monster proven so
I don't
bad?
know. It's just one that I've always enjoyed. I love the idea.
fair.
He
I
likes
love the
well
idea.
dicks.
It's a
It'd be the same if you found out
Just-
Tom Brady sucked
man,
dick.
if
I
I-
get it. You gotta take the
no,
good
no.
with the
If
bad.
he could suck my, no.
Would you be the greatest of all time then?
If you could suck his, I gotta have him.
Also, yes.
Good shit.
No, it's yeah. Don't do it.
We'll be getting in trouble over there, Joe.
Save him a smidgen. Just a teensy bit. There you go. No, I don't know. I've always enjoyed the idea of the Loch Ness monster, and thank you,
Loch Ness Monster.
Loch Ness monster. That's right. And some of the other, and the Bigfoot for that matter too. Like, just that there's shit that can hide from us better than we are at finding it.
But that's the thing, though. Is it really hiding, or is it just not there?
It's got, well,
I mean,
It's in
if you play hide and seek, right? You seek and you hide and you get fucking found.
It's in another dimension.
Unless you don't, then you got abducted, and then that goes back to the priests.
but if, oh shit. Or the alien ship.
Or the alien ship, yeah, depending on what kind of anal you want.
I have
IBS too. Shut up, you're 10.
That's
I
right.
have a topic we could talk about. It was kind of like
Jokes, people.
the other day we
You said it, man.
podcast couple ones back we were talking about like airports and how they suck ass and getting on a plane and carry-ons,
Especially Denver.
And shouldn't your ticket be based on how much you and your suitcase weigh? So shouldn't fatties pay more?
Agreed.
They do if they bleed over into other seats and have to book other
No, they just need the
slots.
fucking extender. If you got to buy an extender
that's
for your
the seat-
seatbelt, then
no.
you're fucked.
The seatbelt extender only works as long as you
like,
fit within the
Why?
seat.
So when,
Oh, I doubt that, dude. I can tie a fucking 5-ass fucking foot wide log down to my truck. It ain't going nowhere. My truck might break, but it ain't going nowhere.
You can have your suitcase weigh up to 50 pounds, I believe.
49.
Wouldn't you be mad that if you're at 51 and you had to take shit out of it, but the person behind you
had
was
to do that.
500 pounds and they had a 30
So,
pounds? It's like, what about this fat fuck?
Yeah.
When
Is the plane not going to fly in the same
Like,
fucking way?
So is this
Yeah,
just a bunch? Is this just a bunch of bullshit? You could fit this fatty on the plane, but you can't put 51 pounds on
Bro.
the fucking plane. It's based off fuel,
So-
right? Who's chugging more fuel out here? Fat ass McGee or my 51 pounds?
Well, they say it's because it's for safety, because the plane won't fucking fly correctly.
Yeah, because they have
Fuck.
to balance. They have to balance it.
Yeah,
It's not a
put
boat.
Put the
They-
fat ass
it's
on the
not a-
bottom of the fucking plane in a cage, and then let the fucking skinny people up top ride.
I wish that were the case. I went when I was in Europe for my honeymoon.
They're all
This is back
skinny.
in 2010.
Yeah, they got no fucking thing.
I flew on Ryanair, and Ryanair.
What was his last name?
No. Look up this airline. They have one of the worst reputations. It's awful.
They're cheap.
They
though.
call themselves the on-time airline,
Oh,
and all of our flights were late. It was
Perfect.
fucking awful. This is back in 2010.
Hey, just
so
drink,
you
you're
know,
fine.
fucking.
before COVID.
If you guys have improved, fucking good on you. But so
Probably the Delta bottom. That's why they're
we
falling
got
out of
to
the
the
skies.
we got to
Landing
the
It's called
airport,
American Airlines over here.
right? We got to the airport in Spain, and we had to put on layers of clothes because they wouldn't let us check our clothes, our bags at over 50 pounds.
But you're still
even
bringing
though-
on the same weight.
Yeah, even though so the whole thing was ridiculous, and they were like, yeah, it's all about the balance of the plane. I said, bullshit, fuck you, it is, and they forced us to like put on additional layers of clothes so that our bags weighed a certain thing, and like. You guys use Airbus or Boeing planes. I
Right.
guarantee it. Like, there's no way that any of this is necessary.
Right.
And the whole way through when we flew from city to city, it was the same shit. It was unbelievable. They're fucking liars, and I fucking hate.
Well, that's the
Ryanair.
thing. It's like, okay, even if they all have to be 50 fucking pounds, right? So say everyone on the plane brings their own fucking checked bag for 50 pounds, exactly 50 pounds,
Yep.
and they put them up there. Okay, that makes sense. However, like Joe and I fucking talk about, I won't check a fucking bag. I'll bring it on. He checks a bag. So now you're talking same amount of people. He already checked his bag. I have my bag, and you're telling me that's gonna be the same buoyancy
Somehow
up there?
equals, yeah.
And they didn't even weigh your carry-on. For all we know, you got fucking 100 pounds of shit in there.
Right?
It could just be weights that you're bringing on. Like, no, no one gives a fuck.
I mean, you start seeing people going through the fucking metal detector / body scan.
Oh, that was
clothes shoved up
ours-
their ass.
We only did carry on. That was the whole thing.
Oh.
And so like
Was it a prop plane? Brrr.
no, it was full size planes.
Oh.
And I was just like they in fact they even roped off the first 3 rows of the plane because they claimed for weight reasons that they couldn't. And I'm like, there's no way that's possible.
They must like calculate everybody's weight, like do an average and then average the fuel and give it like 20% extra.
Unless somebody's
It must be
buying
a
a
Put
Yeah.
another fucking engine on the plane, bud. What are we doing here?
gotta be
Unless somebody is buying a ticket and saying, "Man, I weigh 165 pounds.
It's got to be a fuel thing. I don't know.
No, how could you possibly calculate that?
Well, what I don't understand is if you think about, okay, the force of the plane and the speed against the atmospheric pressure and where it's going, all you should be determining is how slow or fast it gets there.
Yeah.
Not
not
up and down.
It's not a boat.
No, exactly.
It's not hitting the air. There's no airways.
So it takes a little bit longer to fucking get off the ground. Okay. It might take a little bit longer to stop. All right.
Yeah, no,
But once you're in the fucking air, science is science, baby. It's moving. It's going.
I understand the size of your bag because there's only so much space.
Yeah.
The
Again.
weight of it.
Yeah.
Like what's 1 pound? And then you look. Yeah. Again, the people that get on, like, oh, okay, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
Tickets should be based off
That was, as much as I hate the Denver airport, and I do, the Denver airport
Everybody hates that fucking airport. It's cursed and shit.
Oh, fuck that airport. It's in the shape of a Nazi fucking.
Supposedly, allegedly.
Not even allegedly.
You have to tilt it. But
No,
then
you
it is.
shut up. It fucking looks like it. But anyway,
That's where the lizard people are.
the
and shit.
Beauvais.
Yeah, it was also built on the eyes or the tears of Jews too, I heard.
They probably deserved it. No, the Beauvais airport in outside of Paris, France, is a worse airport, and it's unbelievable for me to say that because Denver smells like vomit. The Beauvais airport is worse than that, and they kept me outside, my ex-wife and I.
Get outside, you stupid American.
They closed down. They closed the airport for like 8 hours. And so there's 100 people outside with luggage just waiting for the fucking airport to open so that the air. I'm like, how is this possible?
Right.
We're in 2010 where all these international or even regional airports, like it's not that small of a fucking place. And we had to sit outside and sleep outside because it was 3:00 in the morning. And I know I didn't book that shit that way. The fucking site changed shit. But anyway, whatever. It was awful. And
Time zones.
Yeah,
just
I will never fly through the Beauvais airport ever again.
Yeah, it sounds like garbage.
Just don't ever do it. Just go to Charles de Gaulle out of Paris and just pay the extra.
Just pay the extra. Well, we've always said
Fuck.
that on pay the extra. Pay the extra to skip Walmart. Go to the more expensive store where there's less people.
Yeah, pay the extra
to
every
stay out of
goddamn
lines.
time.
Yep.
Pay the extra to do this. It's worth it, people. It's worth it for your sanity and your health.
Yep.
So you don't get fat. And then I don't have to talk about you being fat getting on the goddamn airplane.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else
Getting
you got?
extra seatbelt fucking connections.
Where are we at here? 2 hours?
Yeah.
Well, Spencer, it's always fun having you on. Thanks
to-
again
good to
for
be here.
the wolf
thank you.
piss tequila. I love
Man,
it.
I'm
I'm sure I'm going to hear it from my old man when he comes in the shop. What smells like dick sauce in here?
it smells like wolf piss.
Got to get it cleaned up. But no, always a pleasure. Whenever you want to come on, let us know. Any final words, thoughts? What you doing? Where to find you? Not find you?
Shador Sanders, shut your fucking mouth
Woo!
and play.
Calling
Play.
out.
Calling out.
Play and just do the work on the field.
Okay, prediction from you on the spot. If he does play, well, he's on the Browns. If he does stay with the Browns, and everything happens and he plays, do you think he'll have the Brown curse, where he becomes another RIP quarterback and his
I
career's
hope
over?
not, honestly.
Or do you think he'll take the Browns to the bowl?
They've got Deshaun Watson, they have Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador Sanders, and I feel like they have one more.
They do.
I can't think of who it is right now.
They brought him in for.
You'll think that
Somebody else with
Well,
Flacco,
that's the
but-
Browns' curse. You
Right.
know, all the other starting quarterbacks are going to get hurt or something.
I hope he
another
breaks
rape
it. I
case.
hope he does great. I want him to have some humility and just accept the fact that, you know what,
Kenny Pickett.
it is Pickett, right?
He's probably
right.
a cool guy. He's just probably
No,
putting
yeah.
on the face.
I just
his
there's,
dad's
there's,
Deion
there's
Sanders.
too
You gotta
much.
follow
There's,
that
there's
shit.
too much proliferation. There's too much spotlight. Just take it back, play the game, and do it right. You know. Other than that, no, that's it. Fuck the economy, and hopefully stockholders and all that can get off their profit growth and not allow CEOs to make 250 times what their employees make. Fuck you.
They're the quarterback.
They're yeah, fucking assholes. There should be a limit on that shit too.
That's fair.
What do you got there, Home Slice?
The usual. It's motorcycle season, so watch out for them. What do you got? None? That's all I got. Until next time.
He's just got dicks in the brain.
Yeah.
Not only in the brain.
I think next episode we'll talk about like why do professional athletes kids not excel, but nerdy kids, whatever, nerds of scientists.
I'm glad that we're both neither.
God, I fucked it up.
Yeah, no
I
shit.
can't think of it. Anyway,
All right.
tune in next time, people, when
All
we
right.
discuss. Cut it off.
Again, we should have stopped a long
Your
time ago.
timing is horrible.
What do you mean? I thought you were going to keep going.
No. All right, just whatever. What do you got? Turn it off.
All right.
Unplug it.
Fuck it.
Boom.
What? 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 Say what? 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 Go.